Alright, we're live. Hey, Newton. Facilis told me that the chat is still sub-only. Is that true?
I can check.
And where could I change it? I already checked. There's a follower-only chat, but that's not enabled. And I don't see an option for a sub-only chat. Where's that?
So, give me just a second to double check.
Hey, SOS.
So it'd be /subscriber off, all one word. And you or mods can do that and turn that off.
Subscriber off in one word on recognize command.
Give me a second, I'll whisper it to you.
Okay.
I think I spelled that right.
Yeah, I tried it. Unrecognized
Subscribers!
command.
S after the R.
Ah, okay.
The O. Yep. That's my bad.
Okay. I think now it's no longer in the sub-only mode. Hey everyone. But I'm still having issues on master server with the client. As you can see, we have no lag at all, queries off, but the piston bolt bit choppy. I hope it won't affect the tunnel board today. I'm not sure. Master said he has the same issues with his client on the server. Oh, 4 months in a row. I think this is the first one we got. Thanks a lot, Snipper. Alright, so plan for today is we want to turn on the iron farm from the spawn chunks. That's why we need to make a tunnel for the redstone line. So Fox has already prepared the tunnel bore, and we just need to get to it. I think you drove it 5,000 block forwards, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, maybe we can do the rest today. Yeah, I'm also having horrible FPS, but it's just on master server for some reason. Snapshot server we played on was fine, the other servers are good. Not sure what's going on. Also restarted the server today. Almost feels like 1.13. I'll never get used to that area. That's the portal.
I just interpearl over there personally, but that's me. Out of all the reasons that I had to stop the tunnel bore yesterday, the walls for the perimeter being one of them was the weirdest. And behind you.
Did it go to the wrong direction? Where's the tunnel bore?
And then it'll be on the left. It's behind the portal when you come through it. So,
I'll just check both sides.
yeah. It's gonna be the side without the floor builder.
Okay, then it's the other one.
Yeah, and then as you're facing the undecorated wall, it'll be to the left is the direction you need to go, to the east.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably put sound on if you want. Oh, sorry.
Midwood still.
Talking to a friend.
Oh, I still had the village overlay on. Okay. I should have brought more rockets. I think I only have 14 left in the ender chest.
I got you.
Oh, you're also coming? Yeah. Can we bring some?
Yeah, I can come down that way and bring you some, yeah.
Oh, has anybody watched the SciCraft episode for the stream? We're almost caught up now. I still have 2 episodes left about the quarry. But we almost caught up now. Oops. Yeah, I'm still getting horrible client lag for some reason. As you can see my connection. So according to that info bar here, it's also not that great. Just 3 or 5. Obviously that's not always accurate, but yeah, for some reason my connection to the server is always bad.
That's no fun.
It's fine for you, right? Rego also said it's fine for him?
A lot of the things are fine for me, but I also do have like the normal latency issues people have when connecting for a distance, like electroflight and stuff. I have trouble with that a lot of times, but it's, you know, I expect that. So the piston bolts work fine for me, for example.
Also, not every day is the same. I had it worse already. Was also better already. It's a bit weird.
Sounds weird.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to drive it?
I was watching streams and hanging out. Sometimes it would go for hundreds of blocks without needing to be stopped. Other times it was like every 10th block. So, I don't know. Okay. I would have had a time for you if it didn't, you know, my mouse didn't freak out and blow up on me, so, or cause the thing to blow up on me, so.
Nice new episode, Mango.
Thanks. I see you saying XCOM. I had a long talk about pistons pushing players, and we figured out that we'd functionally have to rewind time to make it reliable. Yeah, I think XCOM also told me about that. All those player piston glitchiness. The reason why we use minecarts for the elevators. Fix that is probably not that easy. Okay, let's see. I hope this works fine. If I need to stop, then it actually stops. But I can definitely drive over and it stops, right? It just looks super weird for my client.
As long as it's tracking the minecart, you should be okay.
Hmm. Yeah, if the client lags sometimes, then the TNT seems to explode, but yeah, it's on the server side. But it looks scary sometimes.
What's scary is, like, watching it while also watching the stream, then glancing back right as the fence post is moving forward before you move forward.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like there's a block coming right at you. That's, oh my god, scared the crap out of me about 3 times. Thought I had a heart attack. I was just like, crap, I'm running it into a wall! No, it's just the fence post in front of me.
Lol. Make SciCraft video with pretty much the simplest multi-village iron farm possible in there. Gets comment early. Love your wits. Can you make an easy iron farm? That's a joke you want, man. With big explanation why he doesn't do it, because there's plenty of people that are into the subject. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I saw you had like a bunch of villagers group there. They're all in like one spot, right?
Yeah. In the ladders even.
Okay, good. Because if they spread out, then they count as separate villager positions. And if you have like more than around 80 or so, then pretty much no iron farm's gonna work.
Oh.
Yeah, the iron farm's working fine.
I didn't watch the tutorial, so I used some kind of a piston contraption to push them inside the ladders. I'm not sure if that was correct.
Yeah, I mean like,
Okay.
I mean in the breeder.
Oh yeah. Ragu did that, but it's far away, I guess.
I guess Ragu did it,
You
okay.
can turn
He knows
the
about it.
village on and off using a villager and a minecart. So it's a zero village or something like that.
It's like 70 blocks far away anyway.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that the villagers connect. It's that if you have too many unique villager positions loaded,
Yeah.
then villagers cannot detect doors correctly.
Yeah, but you could literally just put the portal on the other side of the iron farm if you ever go there, that you load the villagers in the iron farm first, right? And then they're first in the list, and then you
Yep.
could walk towards the breeder as well, and nothing would ever happen. So,
Yeah, that's the other way.
and it's only if you have above 100, right?
Well, the list only contains 64, but
Oh, so it's above
Doing-
64.
but then since they only update on a interval, you can kind of use that to, you know, go past the boundaries a bit more.
Yeah, but even if it's
Limbo
a
did the
temporary
math.
villager breeder, so who gives a damn?
I mean, as long as they're all in one spot, then that's okay.
Oh, I've got the rockets for you.
Oh yeah, awesome. Stop it. Okay, so stopping works despite having some client lag. Also, the client lag got better, it seems like.
There's about 10 in there, so that should keep your stocked up for a little bit.
Alright, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this
By
is
the way, why do the
pretty much-
chunk loading? Why do the chunk loading grid underneath? It would also be cool to have it on the surface, right?
I
Like
thought it
directly
would look
underneath
better,
the iron farm.
because we always did
Also
that.
look cool.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It would also look cool to have like a chunk pattern on the surface directly underneath it and have the chunk loading there.
Yeah.
Also,
guess.
you wouldn't have to tunnel bore it all for like nothing.
Yeah, it's a blind spam. We have to take a look. Yeah. I mean, for this farm, it doesn't matter much. What should we do about the other iron farm? Does anybody have an idea for decoration? Iron perimeter? I don't know.
Could build a huge iron block around it.
Yeah.
Iron block pixel art. Why
TDLs
make a perimeter?
Is it TDLs?
TDLs, yeah. Perimeter obviously wouldn't be helpful. A little lag improvement, but I'm not sure.
It's just so much work for no gain.
Just building the boring iron farm without any decoration is also not that exciting, I guess.
Could do the same we did in Spawn, where you have the golems holding it up. That looked really cool.
Giant anvil.
I like that.
Yeah, we would need to take a look at TDL's farm first, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Well,
can.
I would really like to see the golems back.
It's gonna look like an L shape. I don't expect him to drastically change his style, so...
Yeah.
It's fun to watch this move like this, too.
Is it water on the side? I guess we have to take it out.
That water looks like it should be fine, but I can go up there and grab it.
Yeah, the water's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, this is definitely gonna be a tunnel boss stream today. We still have 5,720 blocks left. Yeah, but awesome, I definitely would watch that CEO. Always wanted to get it into MCP and so on. Methods already started once, right?
No, I've given up. It's like way too much. I have no clue about all of it.
The problem is also...
It's like probably also completely wrong to start trying to read Java code with no
Java knowledge.
Spaghetti code is like not gonna get you anywhere. Like you don't understand anything. You have to get into it like for reals.
Yeah, I'll try to do some our refreshment course, whatever.
Yeah. Also,
I learned it once, but
I just spammed the public chat. Read the code for me, you lazy fuckers. That's how it's done, man. There's people that read the code, and then there's people that find the exploits in game. I'm the second one.
Well, and then you also have Myron.
And then we have exactly.
But trying it out only brings you so far in some cases. Like what XCOM did with the TNT cannon, you could never do that without reading code and writing your own little programs.
Yeah, but you would also never find that by starting with the code digging.
Yeah, obviously, you need the combination.
In the very start, you always have to come up with the idea first, you have to try it, and then you say like, oh, this works, let me dig in the code in exactly those locations to find out how to make it reliable. I would say out of 100 things, if it's a lot, one of them was found by code digging. Just randomly. No one digs randomly in the code and finds something.
Well, you never know. You know, there's tests.
Yeah, like I said, 1 out of 100 maybe. But I'm also pretty sure tested first of all did this stuff and knew where to search for what, like at least a hint or so. Otherwise, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like open MCP and start at the first line and read until you find something or what?
This is gonna be literally a boring stream, I guess.
But then...
Yeah.
Is this the slow tunnel bore?
No, it's the double tunnel bore. Somebody was asking if I know about Comet's design. I haven't watched the video, but that's what I think he was doing what I always talked about. We don't need to shoot the TNT around like stupid here. could have made this so much easier, but we were always too
Yeah,
lazy.
you don't need to do it twice. You don't need 2 times push up and thingy. It has a really smart layout for that. So.
But I always knew about it. This is super complicated, but we just build it up quickly, and that was the first solution that quickly
It's always
worked.
easier to afterwards improve someone else's work. I mean.
Well, at least then I don't have to do it. Okay, maybe we can use comments design next time.
Yep.
Yeah, Comet is also really good with his limestone and so on.
No, Bedrock does not have better code quality at all. They actually have more bugs than Java.
Yeah,
The only reason is it's not as broken. It's they're not 7 years old or 8 years old yet. Give them 5 years.
If Bedrock would have good redstone, it would be the El Dorado for technical players. With so many bugs, you can do pretty much everything. You can get Bedrock. There's so much you can do.
Killer Penguin, the boring machine is tunneling to the iron farm, so it can be turned on remotely.
Hey, AAA.
Bedrock is not more optimized. Bedrock just... all the optimizations Bedrock do come for a cost. You know, if I turn my Java render distance to 2 and turn off mob spawning, then I also get much better performance, but that's pretty much what Bedrock does. They kill the mob spawning. They have the render distance is not really render distance, it's just a fake. The ticking area is super tiny. The mob spawning is super slow. Redstone runs on 10 ticks per second. I mean, okay, if you just make the game run half as fast, obviously it's gonna perform better. If Bedrock Edition actually performed like Java, it would be probably instant crash. If it had to do the same amount of workload, it wouldn't work at all.
Hey,
Just give them 5 years to implement as much as Java did, and it's gonna be lag and bug hell. Which it already is. I mean, they use every chance they get to like implement Java bugs into the Bedrock version. So, whatever.
So we were definitely the inventors of the TNT boring machines.
Oh, for sure.
So I had the idea, I think, once for the Nether one.
Yep.
Build it.
We had the idea even for a long time, and always said like, this ain't gonna work. And then at some point, we had like this middle of the night super productive 20 minutes where we came up with like 4 different concepts for different things, and one of them was the TNT duper that shoots the TNT forward.
Yeah, that was the fence under the TNT.
And that was pretty much the get-go. And then next morning Mango already had the first nether boss set up, pretty much.
But we knew about this fence under the TNT for a while ago, but I just never connected it.
I never, it's I mean, you can know all, but you always have to see the connections in between it. I mean, there's a lot of times that stuff happens that someone knows something or shows something, and then years later someone uses that to come up with something. For example, the power cannon. I mean, everything in the power cannon was known before. The whole alignment system that actually makes it reliable was shown like 6 years ago by test. And all XCOM really did was making it fit into pearls, elevating it further up, doing the code digging to see how to cancel momentum to sides. And all of it was there before, just people didn't see the connection and the possibilities of it. There's a lot of times where this happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna get those, Fox. Awesome.
I can try, yeah.
Yeah, we can't stop for the diamond. No chance to react, because there's some cooldown.
It's also quite pointless. We have like 18 shulker boxes of diamond ore.
Yeah, if you RNG
you wanna
manipulate, break it, we have over 100,000 diamonds left. So, yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
And if you want to go diamond farming, then we have much faster machines for that. And this is really just about clearing space.
Good job. I started again. We didn't set up RNG for the diamond, so I was hoping that either Tuno would do it or XCOM, because I have my own
We're
projects
probably
kind
gonna
of.
do it, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it at some
Some
point. We do have an RNG manipulation witch farm, which hasn't been shown.
We're not using it.
Hmm.
For the RNG of manipulation diamonds, just getting the right location and building the grid again.
Yeah, it's probably not super exciting, but it would be nice to have it.
Was exciting and took some time.
Is it like a... Does it just have to be inside this one chunk, or is it a super specific location, like this coordinate?
Inside the chunk, it's a specific coordinate for the witch spawning.
No, for the ores.
Oh no, you can build it anywhere. You can build the chunk loading grid in the specific position, and you can dig anywhere in the world.
Oh, okay. You just it's dependent on the chunk loading grid you're using.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we
Because
have
it would be nice to have it more for not only for diamonds, but for
lapis and quartz?
lapis and quartz as well. And then you also need, because you need a block of bedrock to place it against to AFK mine it. Lag proof. That's why I asked for like a specific location, because you need to do some bedrock removal at Y5 and place the blocks against the bedrock, mine them up.
No, you don't need any specific location.
Okay,
Just
that's awesome.
that if another player digs the block before you do, then it's not working.
And it only works when alone, basically, whatever. So it's not like the fortune farm is gonna be used 24/7 and everyone has to make sure he doesn't break a block. It's like
if there's a player flying around with an elytra and loading other chunks or something, it will reset the RNG to different values, but you won't lose much of your drops.
yeah, you're just gonna do it at night or whatever when no one else is online.
Uh, 1.13.1 is already a step in the right direction, but
Yeah, but it won't ever
Yeah.
get back to the performance of 1.12.
yeah, this is so sad.
It won't ever get back to that. Like I've read these comments by the Myths guy and whatnot. Now they're like completely changing how they pass around the code. They're not using strings anymore, and some other shit, which is way more intensive, and it's never gonna go back to 1.12 performance.
So what was the goal then even? To make it easier for the developers to work on
Probably
it?
make it laggier, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, great
Yeah,
that
it
the
was
developers have an easier job now, but if it lags the game, I mean, you don't see the point.
Yup. That was basically it.
Yeah,
Making
Yeah,
the
great.
backend stuff easier.
great. 10 guys.
Like I said like 3 months ago,
Have an
clean
advantage.
code, shit game, awesome change. Chunk loading up to 35 times laggier. Great change.
What?
Yeah, like flying around on your client loading in new chunks is up to
Frame
35
generation.
times laggier.
Why?
Yeah, because they changed the way it's done. Like, for no reason. Probably because it's simpler in the code or whatever. But I mean, if you just fly around with an elytra in 1.13, the fucking chunks don't load in. It's so slow. Like,
It's a game building thing. Like the end islands are so overpowered, you have to slow the game down.
What?
yep. And then all the claimage of like the new hash set for the chunk loading is better now. It's like 0.000000002% better. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck, man? I hope they never touch the lighting engine. Looking at the other optimizations, they're just gonna break it completely. Unless they maybe like copy paste. I think Theosip was working on this stuff. They copy paste from
it
him.
was someone else. Theosip was the redstone.
So Theo
I
also.
thought there was a light thingy.
No, I'm pretty sure that was someone else.
It was somewhere else, yeah. But it wasn't like 500 times better. It was, I don't know, 20%
Something
improvement.
like that, yeah.
I mean, you don't need a massive setup to see where the hotspots in the code right now are. Like, actually logging in the game for like 3.5 minutes would tell you that. Like, oh look, the chunks are loading in super slow.
I've got some.
Placing a single water bucket makes my game freeze to 15 FPS. You don't need to be like a super coder to realize that they did some bullshit there. I mean,
yep, waterlogged caves are quite annoying for tunnel bores.
Yeah.
Good news is, more bad news, you can't make a tunnel bore.
113 tunnel bores are gonna be a pain anyway because
I've got to get those.
Yeah, take your time. Still don't. Maybe we should actually do the stream soon. We talked about this a few times. We should go on a copy of the survival world, raid a lot of monuments, just save our player files and import it here. So we can somehow get it legit without increasing the world file size. Thanks, Maxi, for the subscription.
Yeah, why not just dupe them?
I don't really think there's gonna be any benefit of being it over and using.
Yeah, I mean that's bringing items from one world into another one, which is.
I mean, we still do the same work, but we don't have 500 megabytes more, so I don't see an issue with that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you're not going to save the extra chunk data, that means you can go back to the same place over and over again. So what's the difference between duping?
I mean, duping is a bit cheaty, obviously.
I mean, chances are 50% of all the people see duping sponges as cheaty, and the other 50% see going into another world, bringing the sponges over as cheaty. So, I don't know. Then I'd rather make a cool duper. Or if it ever actually needs to happen, then whatever. Let's do the freaking Guardians struck by lightning thing.
Hmm.
You don't need to keep this one, just
yeah, that's the same. Why would we do that?
Right,
that's
Guardian
just being
infinitely
retarded.
automatic.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to be retarded about it, then yeah, let's do that. I mean, this is for me literally the same. It's even the same dupe bug. In fact, you're just doing the exact same. You're duping an entity. One of them is alive and one of them is not alive. That's the only difference.
Well, technically both are alive.
Using donkeys is pointless, guys. Like,
I mean, even zombies are technically alive, you know? Entity living.
You and your technicalities.
All the people with the donkey duping, man. It's like... Manga showed like my zombie duper, and then for some odd reason people started thinking using donkeys is smart, which is pretty much not at all, man. Why would you use donkeys?
Yeah, I mean, you can get more...
Because you're an ass.
You can get more slots filled.
Oh yeah,
well,
and therefore you input hay bales and saddles and chests, and then you wait for them to grow up, and in the meantime I've gotten like 200 zombies going through before you have your first donkey, and I'm completely 100% AFK, but hey, keep on using donkeys. It's like, why?
You could also, though, if you had one good donkey and you had a spawn chunk fortress, then you could just do it circular and just keep the same donkey going in between both portals, dying
but you could
constantly.
Also just use zombies.
Yeah, but at that point, then having the extra storage space for shulker boxes on the donkey would make sense.
If you had like an end portal inside spawn and your travel way would be small, yes.
I mean, that's the only, you know, we're fighting for a theoretical
yeah.
why it would be okay to do.
Yeah, but then I could still use zombies in that setup. I wouldn't actually need the stupid donkey. I could also send 20 zombies.
But it'd be less zombies you have to send. You could do one donkey, you know.
Don't think SciCraft is getting broader recognition at the moment.
And I mean, I could always attach a mob farm actually with a zombie sorter and go a whole lot faster than the donkeys.
Yeah.
While still being completely 100% AFK.
If you really want broader recognition, you should have asked Grian to join the server.
Yeah. Mango do collab with
Oh, and if you want, you can get a diamond. No, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm not running
Oh,
underneath
gonna
that
see that.
TNT.
Oh, no.
Oh, there would be enough work for Grian.
Oh, you can build fancy things around our farms.
Yeah,
He's just gonna get killed if he places solid blocks at the wrong
yeah. He
location.
doesn't get pranked, so he would be more productive.
Yeah.
But I am picking up diamonds as I cross them right now. So. Gives me something to do besides walk.
Oh,
Ew.
Hey,
No, 24 minutes. I'm definitely not the guy that is an expert on code and writing mods. Sorry.
So I feel like the guy that walks along the float during the parade to make sure the float doesn't drive over top of anyone.
Sure, SOS. Yeah. Oh, this lava's a bit higher than usual.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for
Oh, yeah.
those.
Those are stupid.
Oh, that's fun. I've got buckets.
Awesome. Brought nothing. Don't even have apples. Yeah, someone lost my golden apples when I died last time.
In there is 56. I only have 8 on me. So,
I was
let's go
gonna
ahead and
take
grab
8.
some apples. And
Thanks. I could probably also use the tweaker room thingy. What was it again? X and K? No, I had to look it up.
Z. Z, 1, 2, and 3 change the placement modes.
No, there was an option to click really fast. What was that? Fast right click X and U. Saves you. What? Okay, gotta put it back. Saves you a few buckets.
Well, today I learned.
Do we have to remove a few blocks that got shielded? I think it should be fine.
Yeah, this looks good.
Maxi, that's the useful mod by Nessie.
Tweakaroo's, I think, is the one that had the thing. But...
The fast click was Tweakaroo, yeah. The one can look inside stuff is useful mod.
Ah.
Thanks for the 3 bits.
Yeah, when I started working on digging the trenches, I outfitted my ender chest and made sure I had things that I thought I would need for different situations. So that's why I'm like, oh, don't worry, I've got it. Which has come in really handy with doing the tunnel bore with how far everything is away.
We don't think about upgrading to 1.30 at the moment. We could think about it once, if it happens at all, if all the lag issues are solved. So water is not laggy anymore, redstone is not laggy anymore.
Then we still have huge problems. What's about all of the chunk loading? You know, just
that we can easily adjust by changing one word in the code.
Yeah, okay, and then we can also turn on all the other modded stuff.
Yeah, why not?
Change your stream title from vanilla server to fully modded.
I mean, I'm not gonna spend hundreds of hours and redo that. I mean, it's just stupid.
just
I can change one word.
You can't
Then I don't care
it.
about the pseudo vanilla status.
You can't
that we have.
redo it.
Yeah, that's why we're just gonna change one word in a code in order to make it work. I mean, it's just so stupid to have this vanilla obsession.
Okay, and what's with TNT duping?
Yeah, let's also get that back maybe. That's what I'm talking about.
Why not just keep on playing on the 12 then?
Because there's new stuff in 1.13.
Yeah, like fishies, yay! I mean, there's like almost nothing where you would say like, oh, this feature is so amazing, I need to play it.
Yeah, that's also a point.
Yeah, so why even update? I mean, yes, there's the puzzle, which is really cool, and there's the note block, which is nice, and there's like one other thing.
Think about all the useless farms we could build.
Yeah, great, dead coral farms.
Dead coral fan only farm.
Yeah. Maybe in 114 if they shit fix all of their crap, we can talk about it. Or if there's something so insane that is so cool that everyone wants to update, but otherwise there's like no reason.
What's this for? Just to get a tunnel. Whoops. In order to place a redstone line later. It's faster than digging. Is there a reason why I use buckets, not gravel? It's faster usually.
Especially with a clicking script, it's
so you
faster.
can't misplace a bucket. And with the fast clicker, it can easily happen that you place too much gravel and then you have to remove it again because the machine could get stuck on it. And it's just so much faster, easier with buckets.
Yes, we're definitely gonna build every farm possible. That's for sure. Even if it's useless, just have to double chest. That's for sure.
We get.
But it would have been nice if you could at least make blocks out of something. I mean, with blocks you can at least do something, but if just
it would have been nice if they just let us farm the corals like a tree farm, and the modding always shined with that. All the tree types, they have like different needs, different heights. The spruce needs a 5x5, the oak doesn't care at all, and so on. Then they have different drop chances for the saplings, which I thought was always super interesting. Same for like the mushrooms. And I think like the corals could have been a super opportunity for that. Because they grow way different, they need to be underwater. It would have been really nice to make a proper coral block farm.
Yeah, but we talked about this with rock, so maybe we get something that could be really interesting. The kelp blocks are definitely good fuel source, but there are better ones. Logs, you can't beat logs into charcoal.
You have to AFK for it anyway, so it's really
also,
not good compared to any other.
Problem with those kelp farms is that they're really laggy. It's probably the water updates, so maybe the water gets fixed and they're not as laggy anymore, and you can finally put them large scale, because they're just gonna kill you at the moment.
Yeah, but then you're still at the point that you need to AFK them anyway, so you might as well AFK Blaze Farm or wood farm and make charcoal and
Yeah, I know.
smelt like 100 times the amount of
You can't
stuff.
beat the charcoal farm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
or like
goes for a
even
few-
better, wither farm.
I would even love the charcoal block. Would be even better.
Yeah.
Mm. But I think that the kelp block is an option.
The sticks from a witch farm
Nah.
can max supply like a 7 furnace array or something like that. That's really nothing. Also, you have issues feeding enough sticks into it
I don't
fast
know.
enough. It's like, then you might as well just use a carpet duper.
Sticks works if you really rarely smelt something, but in SciCraft we have smelted over 2 or 3 million items so far, so sticks would have been an option. Also, it's really shitty fuel
Yeah,
source.
Still, even if you account for the XP storage, like, I still don't see myself farming kelp to store XP. I'm just gonna stand at a portal pigment farm that runs 24/7 and I do nothing and get stuff. I don't have to click a furnace.
Yeah,
I don't care if I have 60 or 100 levels, it's coming in like crazy for free. So I really don't care. Like,
Yeah, smelting kelp for XP, I don't see the
it's
point.
pointless.
There's better options. But maybe on the server, if we have no access to a mob farm at all, then
Portal pigment farm
there's always the portal
Actually,
pigment
some
farm.
servers disable that.
could still trade villagers. I mean, yeah, it's an option, but it's never like great.
It's like a final option where everything else.
Yeah.
Then maybe, yeah. If you have to cook something, then you should maybe cook cactus. I think it gives more XP than the other stuff, a little bit more.
I mean, the
And
only
it's
thing I
super
would
easy
do with
too.
that is the whole, like, make a cobble farm and spawn a big fat carpet duper and just let it run for a year and find out if you can crash the game by clicking a furnace. That's about all I would do with that feature. Like,
What would be an item block that should be added?
rotator block,
Trader blocker.
movable.
Also, I love the blocks that got added in Quark mod.
But it's also something, the idea, like Nembon showed, the one that they didn't take, is that they make the kelp block the go-to
Scaffolding block.
Scaffolding block. That would have been amazing, you know? Punch it with your fist, don't get a slowdown on top of it, and it's not TNT. That would have been a great feature with a unique behavior. Or like a unique use for it. Which I always love when you have like some block that has some unique features to it. Or some unique usabilities. But it's like, they rather added the fact that you can eat kelp faster than anything else and still suck. It's the dumbest feature ever. Who would ever choose to eat kelp as his food source?
The same people that eat spider eyes and rotten
Probably,
flesh.
yeah.
Or the kind of things Golden Parrots are.
Yeah.
A good
Sushi
portion
with
of
the Oh, I would love rice farms. Yeah, that would be awesome.
what would you make with the rice though?
Some
Sushi?
useless unstackable food that gives you nothing and is never used. Yay,
Rice
more
balls.
unstackable food.
So for sure it would give rise to more methods runs.
Hmm.
I mean, they should
Just
definitely add
no.
rice. Why not? Just think
No,
about the
ragu.
Chinese
Just
market.
look at the
Yeah.
last like 4 food sources we have gotten, man. I wouldn't wish for too much, man. It's gonna be unstackable or it's just garbage.
That was a good one, Ragu. I can appreciate that one. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, the problem is they don't want to add more complexity to the game, so that's why the food system is so boring and probably won't get made more interesting.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to always add food sources that are worse than anything already existing. I mean, why
it's
add
probably
stuff
just
that's
for,
like...
for us it's not interesting, but maybe somebody likes role playing and then I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, like those vegan servers where you get banned when you kill an animal.
maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's just so many different ways to play the game.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, you mean like mushroom soup there, Ron?
Oh, see, that's awesome. Is there, did you make a mod for that? Is it stable? Could we use it on SciCraft? I mean, if that would speed up the quarry, I would take it. How's Mouncy going? Yeah, she's great. Enjoying the summer, out all day.
I would be fine with unstackable food if it like actually would give you a massive advantage. But I mean, as long as unstackable food is like worse than a steak, why would I use
But
it?
there is this rabbit stew.
Rabbit stew, yeah, great.
But it's decent,
No,
but
even
this is not better.
Yeah.
No matter how good it is, if it's not stackable, you will use it. Trust me. Have you even played beta 1.7 days?
If you remove the 20 saturation cap and make it 40, and there is an unstackable food that gives you 20 hunger haunches and 40 saturation, we can start talking about it. Then I'm
40
walking
still
around.
not enough.
Then I'm walking around with a shulker box full of it, or something like that.
Like the food would have to be so good that you can just eat one and do whatever activity you want, and still last a good hour.
Yeah, for like 1 hour you just don't get it. That would also be an option. You don't hunger.
Yeah, like it has to be that good, otherwise the non-stackable is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Bisumtu, you can definitely do that. But not sure if anybody's interested really in making 1.13.0 stuff.
Anything on that 13.0, yeah. No thanks. Yeah, that's the saddest thing, man. The notch apple giving like 2.5 haunches of hunger. That's pretty sad, man. That should give you like full everything, man. Especially now that the recipe has been removed. Like, how could this be the worst food?
Can we appreciate Theo joining the pun stream? Or the pun group?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, Theo. Like, get help.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I approve.
I approve too. I'm glad my attention was called to look for it, that's for sure. I would have been sad if I had missed it.
Oh, now that's some patience.
Yeah, that's also something I definitely want. More trees. For more plank colors and so on. That's always good.
Oh, you love the tree farms. And
Yeah,
stuff, so,
that's for me.
yeah.
I mean, for the builders, they could have more planks. Yeah, Luki also approves. Thanks for the 100 bits. Whoops, I have some water here.
Okay. By the way, I should also probably get you some sponges.
Yep.
This looks like it's just a big single source.
We do have tree farms. We always have them, but we're never really satisfied with the current tree farms, and they also break every version. I think we have built 10 tree farms by now. And they're still in a sad state, but I think we're not the only technical server that has this issue. I think on Duck they also built like more tree farms.
Theo Grum never
had a
suggested
decent one.
making husk. Grum never suggested making husk drop sand. That was
No.
actually we suggested that.
Yeah.
It's not his idea. It's straight up stolen from Carpet Mode.
Yeah, but if only the normal husk drops sand,
It's just
It's
as
too way
worthless
too
as
slow.
before. Might as well keep duping.
It's then just
Go
way
ahead
too
and get
slow.
some of the sponges from in
It's
there.
gonna be like 15
Oh, wait, that's
cent
my,
per hour.
derp.
Yay.
Yeah.
Here's some sponges.
Whoops. Right.
Right there.
Did it? What?
And I picked them back up.
No, Husk
Yeah,
don't
thanks.
drop sand, but we suggested that to Mojang that they spawn in the desert temples without these stupid skylight conditions, and only them, and that they drop sand, and then you could make witch farm style sand farms, which would be fast enough to say like, okay, let's stop duping. But I mean, what's the point of a sand farm that makes like, I don't know, 150 sand per hour? That's so worthless, and you might as well go dig for 1 hour and don't run the farm for 10 hours.
I mean, the sand farm we have on the Patreon server makes like 50k now.
Is it a single one or a double temple?
I think there's single.
Ah, yeah, you
But-
up the rates, right?
Yeah, 1 to 3 sand, so 2 on average.
Mm,
I think that's decent.
it's
I mean,
50k, yeah.
you can always, like we do with the witch farms, it's not that super laggy. You can probably run 20 of
Multiples, yeah.
those at the same time if you put in
Ah,
the
you
effort.
can find a double desert.
That's already
temple
better,
perimeter.
yeah.
And then you're already at 100k, which is pretty much a sand duper.
Yeah.
And then it's totally fine. Even 50k is totally fine,
Mm.
or like 25k would still be okay. But like, knowing Mojang, they implemented in a way that you get like, you know, like the bone meal. It's like, yeah, it's cool
Fish
that we
bone
can
meal.
get bone meal, but it's so few that it's, unless you want to attach a slow flower farm, it's worthless. Yes, what?
Desert temple is possible.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course. It's just harder to find, just like Fort Richards. In general, I think every structure is available in a quad pattern. Maybe not mentions because the structure files are that giant. Oh no, that's still also work. Even mentions. Mojang cannot just take Optifine's performance fixes and steal the things and put it in there. They tried to get the Optifine guys, but they didn't want to.
What is the best XP farm on the SciCraft server? It's the Guardian farm. Or it depends, I mean, it depends. The portal
Depends
farm is
what
also nice, it always works.
Yeah.
It's basically
At
two
first I
farms.
use the bottle farm all the time.
Yeah, the portal farm works without
Everything else
turning
takes
anything
longer.
off. But if you go about sheer amount of XP, of course the Guardian farm can like supply, I don't know, 8 people with the max amount of XP if you overdo it. But if you're alone and you just want to do stuff, portal farm is perfect. Don't have to turn any switches off. It doesn't matter who comes online and blocks caps or whatever. Fully AFK.
And the portal farm, at least just the one that we have at the moment, just doesn't run at the cap of XP that one can take in. It's a bit below, so it's not super fast. But yeah, it's definitely
It's unbreakable pretty
in
much.
terms of usability, it's amazing.
I'm back.
Come back.
Yeah, Guardians drop more XP than Pikmin. I think Pikmin drop on average 7 XP or something like that. And Guardians drop 10, like Blazes. Blazes and Guardians are the best mobs to farm for XP, besides the Ender Dragon, of course. Which is, I consider this too cheaty Ender Dragon XP farms.
Watch out. But it would be really nice if the XP ball stacker, you don't have a limit in the amount of XP you can take up or take in. That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I think the proper solution to this is if you still want it a little bit limited, is that the mobs, like I said yesterday, don't drop 3 different size XP balls, or that the game says, okay, this mob is going to drop 7 XP, I'm dropping 1 XP ball worth 7 XP. Instead of this whole, like, 1 is 3, 1 is 2, and 1 is 1 or some shit. This is like 3 unnecessary entities. There could just be one. And even if you were against all of the like buffing it, you could still make it that it can suck up, I don't know, less orbs, and then it's done.
Yeah,
And it would still be less laggy.
Carpet mod already has two options. So either we have the XP ball stacking, similar to item stacking, and we have basically a no
Cooldown
delay
again.
or no cooldown. So you don't need to wait 2 ticks until you can take the next XP ball.
Great for troubleshooting and
Yeah,
timing.
we don't consider Dragon XP farms cheaty because Ray made them. There was Dragon XP farms way before Ray even did YouTube, and I considered them cheaty before that as well. Because it's literally the farm to beat them all. It's like RNG manipulation, man. You sit in there for like 10 minutes, you have I don't know how many hundreds of levels, and you never come back again. I just think it's too cheaty for me. It literally has nothing to do with Ray. And he didn't put in that much effort. Like, pretty much all he did was figured out before. I've always thought like this dragon farming is cheap for me. Rather make a proper XP farm.
Okay. Any spoilers on the size of the big iron farm? Is it 1500? I'm not sure.
Let's just say it's bigger than the 16 villages.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's gonna be the biggest survival iron farm, village size wise.
I mean, it's larger than it makes sense. Probably lacks the game.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We who use like shitloads of iron, we would be fine with a, I don't know, 128 to
512.
256 iron
No,
farm
512
running.
at least.
Maybe you just want to get it faster. If you think about it, like if you have a 128 village iron farm and you run out of iron blocks, you're just not running it enough. I mean, how long did Regu's iron farm run on the server?
Yeah, but maybe you don't
3
want to have the
months?
iron farm running all the time.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, just think about it. How long did Regu's iron farm run in total? On average, like average 3 months?
Yeah, quite a while. Also, definitely ran while we dumped everything into a cactus for quite a while.
Yeah, so let's just say it ran for 4 months, to be fair. And how long did you not farm iron after that again? How many
Yeah, but that's
years?
exactly what I don't want to have the iron farm running all the time. I want to run it for a short amount of time, like a few weeks, and then done.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're halfway normal, 128 village iron farm is more than you ever need.
No, I don't have any
If you have
tattoos.
a bigger server, you can of course go bigger, but it's not like that thing is gonna run for long.
Thanks.
The whole
Vasilis.
idea is you want to make one that won't be constantly running. You want to set it, forget it, and then have it so it's fast enough that if you ever do need to run it again, it doesn't take long at all. For all
I'm gonna say
practical
one
purposes, you really don't need anything too big.
When we've made the bigger farm and we've ran it for long enough, you won't see an iron farm for a long, long time on SciCraft. Probably multiple years. That's how fucking fast they are.
Right? By the way, happy birthday, Mango!
Thanks. I kind of could imagine getting a tattoo, but on the other hand, I wouldn't know what would be so important that I would need a tattoo. I mean, then I don't like it after 5 years anymore. So, no, it's pointless.
What, not a piston?
Yeah, redstone. Minecraft. No.
A life-size jab on your back.
I mean, like,
Like Steve O,
there
you know,
are
having
nice
a self-portrait.
tattoos. There are
Like
nice
Steve O
tattoos.
having a self-portrait on his back. Just have jab or grom.
They're really nice tattoos, like a really giant squid on your whole back or something that scale. But the usual tattoos are something small and then add to it, and at some point you got scribbled on all your arm or whatever. I don't think that's good looking at all.
A nice little mango on your forehead.
Yeah.
That'd be ill.
Pickaxe on your forehead. For the duck members saying.
I think my favorite mango meme is the fact that every day is your birthday. I love it. How would one make a
Thanks, Tal.
sprite for a redstone mango? What would a redstone mango look like?
Red?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, Kim, for the 100 bits. See you, Angry Nightbot.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Mumbo's like, what's inside an Il Mango video? I'm pretty sure he's scared of doing that because he's gonna get flamed for his shit redstone.
No, I'm not important enough.
Ah, soon, maybe soon.
Also, he hasn't done those videos in a while.
Yeah, that's why it's coming back up soon. He's just on the cycle right now. He's at the moment he's off the what's inside person X and piston hour cycle and doing other random crap, and soon it's gonna return. Just wait for it.
Nitty also wants a redstone mango. Thanks for the 500 bits. Yeah, SOS said he's gonna make one. Should also, yeah. Oh, can I also make one for Twitch? I can replace one of those emotes, I guess, with the redstone mango. We have this cake emote. Maybe we can replace that one.
Yeah, this is about how it ran.
Then how should people wish you a happy birthday every
Now we
day?
actually have two cake emotes. So no, we have a birthday present emote and a cake emote. I think it's a bit redundant.
It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it ran about this smooth last night, where you'd have hot spots where you'd have to stop it often, and then just fast stretches like this where it would just be nice.
Yep.
Nice and smooth.
Always love when the silverfish blown up. How much more do I have to go? 4,600. And then technically also we need to keep going another 2,000 blocks for the future big iron farm. It's gonna be built out, yeah, behind the other one.
Nice. We also have to go 200 blocks in the...
Bye, see you.
Bye, Theo. I think we also have to go, what, 200 blocks to the north as
Probably
well.
best we dig it by hand.
Yeah, makes sense. Yay, Emerald.
Hey, Driftinator. Do iron farms and spawn chunks need the nether portal with item dropping?
If no
Yeah.
one is on the server, yes, you
Yeah.
always need that. So if no one is in the overworld, or no one is in the server, then every dimension unloads and even the spawn chunks turn into lazy chunks. So that's why you shoot an item into the nether every 14-ish seconds to reload the dimensions, and then it never actually unloads. Always need that.
Wow, there are a lot of them there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's pretty nasty with the silverfish.
I think they killed me once.
No.
We have never been killed with silverfish. Okay. Good.
Ew.
Nope.
Yeah, the old pufferfish situation 1.13. This is like the newest best weapon in PvP. Is like just carry a pufferfish around, man. It's like the great PvP changes again. What the crap?
It's not so easy to use.
Oh, Mango, it's much easier to use than a lava bucket, which has been a huge thing in PvP, and it does a shitload of damage real quick.
Yeah, if you strike properly, yeah.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. It has quite the range too.
Why don't we just bring back Spleef?
You can definitely stop the tunnel boss. If we use this system here, I just need to drive over with the minecart on this detector rail, and then it stops the whole thing. That's really the only system that's 100% reliable. If you want to use some observer activated system that stops the whole machinery, then it can always happen to activate in the wrong moment and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it is also such a typical Mojang thing. Implement this pufferfish and then it's like the perfect setup to just be completely trolling people 24/7. Pufferfish everywhere. Under every block.
It's pufferfish griefing. And actually pufferfish also do half a heart of damage. So if so the poison will bring you down to half a heart, but if you get like hit by
Too
a
close to
pufferfish
also kill you,
repetitively, yep. So you gotta be careful about that, Kyle. So you're not wrong, but there is more damage that they do also.
Yeah, it's a perfect troll tool.
I think it's a half heart they do. It's like silverfish damage. It's not much of anything.
Combined with the poison, it doesn't need
It's
to do much. It
deadly.
really just needs
Yeah.
to do the killing blow.
Yeah, the thing is, in combination with PvP, it's really not about the damage at all or anything. It's about the damage tick, which stops you running, messes you up,
Oh yeah.
stops you from jumping properly. That's really like, as soon as you got hit by this pufferfish and the other guy didn't, he's gonna close up to you and give you the other hands. Like,
Well, now we know why, that explains why Zuma Void was okay with, Doc's project, then, if Zuma Void was the one doing the pufferfish griefing. Yay, water!
Looks like a single source.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stopped.
yeah, see, they also do it in like a super fast pace. It's not like you stand there for 3 seconds and then there's like one damage tick. No, you even come remotely close to it, you're gonna get super quick poison, super quick damage. There's an
Two.
Emerald Mango. Grab the emerald
What?
ore under the water.
I don't see it.
Bottom. Just
Ah,
where
light.
we were looking at. Next to the obsidian.
Got it.
Actually need that.
Yeah, desperately.
Emerald.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Watch out, Fox.
I love the delay on that, but yeah.
Just fire it up.
Hi! Making fairly good time.
Mm-hmm. It's already 1200 blocks.
How far do you have to go? To like 15k, right?
15k, yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Do you have a stream schedule? No, I don't. I try to stream 3 times per week on average. But I have to balance it with my YouTubing and also if I'm not feeling like it, then I don't stream. It's probably better. Can get a bit moody sometimes.
No community is toxic for no reason. And I mean, what do you expect, for example? I mean, your average player is 10 years old. What do you expect from a salty 10-year-old on the internet? He's gonna be toxic. Surprise, surprise. Like, and especially if you just mess them up completely. Pretty sure
What
PvP
diamond ore? I don't see diamond ore.
Yeah, because Mango just blows it up.
Yeah, the machine
They
does.
mentioned something about fiddling around with the PvP in 1.14. Now, I believe it when I see it, and it doesn't mean at all that they make it better.
Hey, Matthew.
Chances
And-
are it
Hey,
mix it
Matthew.
up.
Heli Euro. Yes. That was yesterday, I think that happened. My sleeping pattern has my days all thrown off. Yeah, it'd be yesterday.
Are you ever gonna update to the new resource pack?
Probably
I
not.
don't follow it at all anymore. Is the guy still busy with that? And Jasper?
It's still as ugly as before, man. It's like the thing that bugs me the most is like between the items and the blocks, I feel like two different people designed that stuff. There's like the Jabba has like two different versions of designing stuff. One is super smooth and clean, and the other one is super blurry, and I can't deal with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, it's like, why? Also, I can't deal with the fact that everything had to be changed just to be changed. There was like plenty of blocks that didn't need anything.
Stop.
And for the last 5 years, we got told if you want different textures, use a texture pack, you know? And then all out of nowhere, everything had to be changed just to make a change. This is like, why?
I think they're not too happy with it themselves now. I mean,
Yeah,
why
because
didn't
it looks shit.
Yeah, they didn't make it the default texture pack in 1.13. So then, yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
quite done yet, they're not yet satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, the gold looks like cheese. And baked potato look like peanuts.
Peanuts.
Yeah, and gold ingots look like butter.
And most of these resources, to answer your question, are renewable. The only really ones we'd need to collect are diamonds or emeralds, but if they're in front of the lapis, yeah. Well, the Yeah, lapis, you're right. If they're in front of the tunnel bore, we're not going to be able to stop it in time to get the resources at all. And we need the ores, not the drops from the ores. So
A tunnel board to get resources would be like 950 blocks wider in that one, and not as fast.
no, it'd be either
Wouldn't be a start
activate
stop
once
engine.
for 2. Yeah, it'd be start stop.
Yeah, with a special machine we can get about 1000 diamonds per hour. So it's not really worth it to I don't know, collect maybe 20 on the way and then stop the machine all the time and try to get them.
I mean, if you're able to get them when it's stopped or something like that, that's one thing. But like trying to stop it every single time when you have 10,000 blocks to go, it's not worth it in time and yeah, effort at that point. Oh, bye, Sauce.
Bye.
And we have more diamonds than we ever gonna need.
Yeah, we had a trading script at some point. Yeah, we're still living off that. We had it in 1.8.
So you think we have like 1,000,000 emerald blocks, right?
We have 1,000,000 emeralds.
Emeralds.
Yeah. I used auto hotkey for that, but I don't intend to make another one. If only there would be something like a trading box or whatever, a marketplace, so we don't need to do this stupid GUI clicking with the villagers, we can automate it somehow. Even if it's less efficient than doing it manually, I would love that.
Trading scripts.
Yeah.
Macro. The trading mod.
Yeah,
Just
you need to
generate
make a mod
emeralds.
more or less, yeah. I mean, something
Which is already a thing.
intended.
If Lozi made this mod for 1.12, you can trade like 300k emeralds
Yeah.
per hour.
Diamond survived? Didn't see that.
Oh, there's some under me.
Awesome.
I think this 2-man team makes this go a little bit quicker and smoother.
A bit, yeah, but
Not too noticeably, but
Not too much, unless it's really like a single source you uncover that you manage to quickly remove before Mango stops and you don't die while doing it, then yeah, otherwise.
yeah, no, otherwise, yeah.
Because you can't just run in the front and remove everything. It wouldn't be the first death in the tunnel bore.
Yeah, no, I've died because of tunnel bores in the past. I don't want to die in them anymore. Usually it involves them having a catastrophic failure or me getting off of it too quickly, but still, I don't want to die more than I have to.
I mean, it would already be enough if only the farmer villagers, you could throw them all of the stuff and they would poop emeralds for it. That would be so good. If you could throw them 17 carrots, they pick it up and poop an emerald, I would be happy with it.
yeah.
Just that you get the emerald production out of the way with automation, and the rest, trading for books and whatever, okay, that doesn't necessarily need to be fully auto. But like trying to get, I don't know, 100,000 emeralds from farmers, have fun.
Yeah, then you get a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Well, if they pick up like a stack of carrots or so, does it go to their inventory or?
Yeah, it would
Is it
need
for
some
trading,
rewrite
or?
and stuff. Of course, it would be work, but this is
Yeah.
usually how stuff works. You know, you want to do something
Yeah, it
new,
sounds
it
like
actually comes with
kind of-
doing work.
Kind of
Yeah, I'm
working
getting
way.
client lag.
I mean,
do
maybe
anything.
like Mango said, you have to have some sort of trading booth around, and if they're in that or on top of that block, then they don't pick it up as food, but rather in the trading thingy. Something like it should be possible for sure.
No, it's just the client lagging I'm having again. Somehow
Fun.
a problem in Master's server. And Master's somehow affected even that I am. Nobody else, apparently. Okay, should be enough. Yeah, it's awesome that it works with gravel.
Although I have had the single speed tunnel bore blow up due to ill falling gravel, so.
Yeah, that must be so ridiculously rare, Fox. No one ever
It
had that
is.
happen, and we ran the freaking tunnel boards for the whole Mesa Quarry length and much more tunnels, and that never happened to us. You're the only
Yeah.
guy that ever ran it. This must be like a 1 in I don't know how many 100,000 chances.
You want to know what my thought was when it fell? I was just like, that's awful close. Oh well, they've said that this shouldn't have any problem with gravel, so I'm just gonna trust it in the design. At which point it blew up and me up at the same time, and I was just like, well, so maybe I should have stopped it to remove the gravel.
That must be so unlucky.
Haven't had it happen since.
Yeah, gravel is also one of the issues why we couldn't make this much faster.
Not getting some of the blocks, I think it's a random chance that you get them. And it's dependent on the distance from the TNT and whatnot, so the only way of getting everything is if you move the blocks while they blow up.
There's another water patch back here too.
I hate those ravines. Happy birthday, God plan. I'm gonna start it again, folks.
Okay. I'm gonna try and remove some of this.
Use the outer edge of the water to move faster. Probably gonna fall out of that, but I can try it the next time, yeah. Whoa. 2 eyes on end portals? This is perfectly average for normal. Yay, first diamonds. Making a farm for getting cats, parrots. Pella actually planned to do that. He wanted to make a jungle perimeter and build it there, but yeah.
He did make one, in fact.
Pella is MIA at the moment.
Yeah, the perimeter got built, but everything else.
Haven't heard from Pella in a while. Did anybody?
Nope.
I think I've seen him once since the start of the MIA, but like after that it was just gone.
Jumit, the wiki is your friend if you want to know that. There's the drop rates of ender pearls written down, you can calculate the average and then you know how many you can kill to get 10 ender pearls. Also, it depends if you kill them with looting or not.
Do you need more members? I think we're in a good spot in the amount of members at the moment.
Hello! This is definitely looking down the wrong end of the tunnel for.
Get the cobwebs.
I do have it. I can. I've been collecting cobwebs. I need to get my shears out of my ender chest again.
Non-renewable. We only have like 1.5 double chests of cobwebs that we're never gonna use.
Nah, at some point they're gonna make this cobwebs craftable anyway, as a mob drop.
Sure.
Don't think we should keep collecting then. And then just the same will happen as with the rare fish.
It's pointless to collect them anyway. If we actually ever need them, we can start collecting it. We have quite a big backlog of cobwebs and dead bushes and lily pads. Don't think we need to worry about it.
Yeah. Crafting recipe, I don't think that it makes too much sense.
Do you think the cave spiders should have
The cave spider should drop them.
Kill,
yeah.
Player only kill, rare chance, whatever, 5% or whatever.
Then it would actually make sense to have a spawner farm, even in late
Yeah.
game.
Would also make it much more unique from like the spider. Like, why would you ever choose a cave spider spawner over a spider spawner? Pretty much the only reason this cave spider spawners you find clusters easier.
With them being smaller, they can sometimes be a little bit easier to deal with, but
No, they're usually
being
harder
smaller
to deal with.
can be harder.
They're harder
too.
to deal with than the other spiders.
Would it be OP if the name tag gets crafting recipe? Yeah, I mean, you can easily trade for
it.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real big need for
Yeah.
name tags.
Also, everyone loves his AFK fish farms. You
Yeah.
probably get at least 2 name tags per day of AFK fishing. So.
Yeah, Metallica, this is for the iron farm/farms. Well, the new ones. The other ones that spawn. Ragus is at spawn.
Yeah, also something we still have to trade a massive load of emeralds for. We need a double chest of name tags.
We have the emeralds, just need to trade them.
Yeah,
Always
I traded a
refresh
bunch,
the
but-
librarian trades with name tags.
But it still takes forever.
Yeah, I
So
know.
you're gonna get like 3 name tags per stack of emeralds put in there. Maybe we should set up an AFK fishing array and have like 10 people AFK fish like crazy.
Yeah, nice
Just-
price, that would be a good suggestion.
And just filter out the lily pads and the name tags. Burn everything else.
But it also would be cool, we also mentioned it last time, if the spiders maybe could shoot cobwebs.
Yeah, you know,
and then-
when you hit a cave spider, it has a chance of spawning like 1, 2, 3 cobwebs in a 5x5 around it or something like that.
it shoots at you with a cobweb. I don't know, get a projectile entity that turns into a block.
Yeah, I think the cave spiders have a pretty good attack, and I think it makes sense to make this as like a defense.
I mean, they would definitely fuck you up if they could stop you all the time.
Yeah, that was my thought right there. I was just like, man, this mob's already deadly enough. You all
but
wanna
it's
add
too OP
one
if
to
they
it?
shoot a cobweb at your feet, you would just immediately die. No one could deal with that.
You could
That
still
is
hit
like
them.
a pro. Yeah, but you're just gonna die.
You could still hit
You
them.
have to keep in mind the average player
A sword,
is 10
a
years
sword
old,
breaks cobwebs, by the way, so I don't see the issue. I mean,
which takes
Slowly.
way too long. Maybe
Yeah.
the average player is 10 years old. They can't even deal with cave spiders without them shooting cobwebs at their feet. So if anything, I would say it should be like an area where they randomly place some cobwebs around, so you have to look where you're running. And
You just
I mean, it could
reminded
be
me.
right at your feet level, but it should be like, oh, this cave spider is gonna snipe the crap out of you.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
it's
to keep in mind-
terrifying.
If you meet a cave spider, then you've probably loaded a spawner. That means there are at least like 3 of them, and until you've out of that cobweb, chances
More
are
of them are
another 3
spawning.
spawned, and you're in a cobweb again. So I'm not sure if they should shoot them at the player. It sounds a bit brutal.
yeah, there's a question why we don't use AFK fish farms to get name tags, because I don't want to keep
Slow.
my computer running for 1,000 hours just to get those stupid name tags
Yeah.
in a video game.
It's like the
Yeah.
fish farms only make sense if you do not have the, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours time you've input into villagers to get it automated, and otherwise fish farms are pretty much the only reason to use them is getting lily pads. Anything else you could get faster from villagers. Of course not AFK, but it's so much faster that it's not worth it.
What about mending books?
Villagers faster.
Villagers so much faster.
This is
I mean,
from
if
somebody
you-
that is so
If you go AFK overnight, okay, if you're lucky you have 3 mending books that have some other garbage on there. If I trade
you're
for
lucky.
half an hour with our villager, I have hundreds of clean mending books. Oh,
it's
that's
worth
the
the time.
comparison level in there.
It's worth however long it takes for you to get it. Well, if you're doing high volume mending, like you need a bunch of mending on like all your gear and want several
And
sets
it
of it.
always obviously
like-
depends all on your needs. If you just need 4 mending books for your 1 set of gear and you never plan to like get much more, or maybe 1 other set, then you're fine AFK fishing. But if you have like a server like we do and we make hundreds of stuff and tons of shulker boxes of pickaxes and whatnot, it's so much easier to use villagers.
No, you can get a good villager in the first day of the game.
Mending isn't even rare in
Like-
Silk Touch and all of that stuff. I've got that in 1 day on Dog's Patreon.
But the trading but fishing farms can help you early game. They really can. But early game is actually kind of where it also feels the most cheaty.
Yeah.
In all honesty, but it's all down to personal preference at that point. If you're spending the first like 12 hours, like actual 12 hours on the game, like building and then setting at a fish farm and going AFK all night, then man, there's so much better stuff you could be doing within those first 12 hours, like building a village, getting
Yeah,
villagers.
you're gonna come back after 12 hours and you have a bunch of fish and some poopy books and maybe you're able to enchant twice, and I'm just full diamond gear efficiency 5 pickaxe with a villager breeder sitting there enjoying my life. Like, no.
I mean, it takes a certain kind of person. It's really wonderful and easy to go do the AFK early game with the fishing farm because it's AFK. You set it and you forget it. To do the villager trading hall in the same kind of, no, not trading hall, but villagers in the same early game, yeah, it's going to take you a little bit more effort and you're not going to be able to AFK it, but in the same time, if you do it right, you'll be, leaps and bounds ahead.
Yeah, why would we want to get fish from an AFK fish farm?
Yeah, like I said,
you want to get 2 fish to tame 2 cats and you can just fish. Then rather don't even need an AFK farm for that.
Yeah. And also, like I said, the only reason like you actually need a fish farm is lily pads. That's the only resource from it that you cannot get in any other better way.
It's probably still better than to collect them than AFK for 500 hours to get a double chest.
Yeah, but at least this is the only drop from fish farming that you cannot automate in another way.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the only
you're probably still better
renewable way.
off just to collect them in 2 hours than the AFK for 500.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
We're finding a long shot justification for them besides early game at that point is what it is. It doesn't mean that it needs to be a logical justification, but it is a renewable way to get lily pads, which are normally non-renewable.
making a fast villager breeder is definitely worth it because you want to be checking for librarians that have all the books on the first trading slot. So it's much more efficient and much more time saving to not unlock librarians. You just click them, you look at the first book trade, and you get exactly what you want on the first trade. Do not unlock them any further. If the first trade is garbage, just send them to the lava pit or whatever.
Send them to Valhalla.
Yeah.
Foxy
Like
could
the
pick up
unlocking is
Diamond
actually wasting so much time and so much resources for nothing.
Do villagers trade saddles?
Yep.
Yep.
Leather workers.
Yeah, leather.
Yeah, right. Never checked those.
There's
Like once
not
you got a
much
few
reason
saddles,
to.
you don't use them. Yep.
Yeah, but also saddles. What's the use for saddles? I mean, how many saddles are you gonna need?
No, we needed them for
5
the,
saddles
for the horse
Get them
testing.
from fishing, but if you can get them with villager trading, why sit there and AFK fish hoping you get the
I
saddles?
mean, you
need?
click that
Just
villager,
go
and
buy 'em.
after 30 seconds, you have more saddles than you're ever gonna need.
Also for your AFK pick travel system.
Yeah.
Can you put mending on those carrots on a stick? You can even repair them.
Probably.
But, yeah. Best way to travel Minecraft 1.13.
Was it you, Mango, that found a way to get through a creative segment of their server using a pig and a carrot on a stick?
Oh yeah, yeah, did that once.
That
This was a server where I had creative areas for the people that I know were just creative builders. They had those walls, and you couldn't just walk through them. But if you had if you rode a pig, then you could go through them. Yeah. So one of those public servers. Yay, Matthew! Thanks a lot for the 4 months. Yeah, I'll be streaming for 1 more hour until 7 PM German time. Want to go to the gym this evening.
No, you need a pig with a saddle in a boat inside a minecart on a piston boat. That's how it's done, man.
Did it work?
Of course.
Hmm.
The boat goes inside the minecart.
Oh, I just remembered I never
showed. Defines the hitbox.
I never showed the leaf bolt. Totally forgot about that video. Yeah, we made a leaf piston
that
bolt.
one out?
Huh?
Did you leave that one out?
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
if you throw Freddy, not if you throw a boat. You make a minecart pick up a boat and then you throw the pig on top of that and it gets sucked into the boat, it won't move.
We are digging a tunnel.
Yeah, gym is open every day from 6 AM till midnight.
Also still need to show the 25 secret changes.
Yeah. Also, how broken is the SciCraft server? What else? Then some the mob spawning changes talked about. Yeah, there's enough material for next week's videos.
Plenty.
Yeah, probably gonna do 28 videos in 4 weeks, so 1 on average per day. That's only because there's so much new stuff in 1.13.
Oh.
So you can ignore the water, right?
Yeah, you can ignore that water.
And we decided to no longer print with Schematica because it's a bit cheaty.
Yeah, it's also way more fun to just use the Tweakaroo stuff and the carpet client features. That's fine. That's just what I need.
Let's
the
be
printer
honest,
was
if I
always
have
too
to
cheaty,
build-
but in vanilla it's too
If I have to
cumbersome.
build like a 500 by 500 white concrete floor, I will debate of using Schematica again because this is just like boring as hell. And I feel like if I now use Tweakaroo and place 4 blocks pretty much instantly in a row, if I use Schematica and place like 9 blocks instantly in a row, it's not that much of a difference. But like, yeah, for more complicated stuff, I think it's a bit cheaty. Also, you can't really rely on it. It likes to fuck up stuff. If you like for redstone and stuff, it likes to flip around pistons or repeaters and observers and whatnot, and you can't rely on it anyway, so might as well just build it.
Should go swimming. I hate swimming.
Go for a ride.
I went for a run this morning.
Why do you hate swimming?
What
are you hating
Because
about
I'm
it?
not a good swimmer. I'm really good at breaststroke, but not freestyle swimming. Also, what I hate about swimming so much is there's always people in a way. I can't stand that at all. If I would have a lane on my own, okay, but always those people around is I don't know. I hate this.
Just push them underwater
Yeah.
until they don't come back up again.
The thing that I hated most when I went swimming a bit more regularly was like all these, people always swimming in the club or whatever, and like
The professionals,
they were just like
the semi-professionals.
Yeah, they were like skyrocketing through, everyone else, and they didn't pay any attention to people. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're the one who can properly swim, so pay the fuck attention.
That's like people that have a running bike,
It's that.
Racing bike.
or like a racing bike,
Mm-hmm.
and then no matter how well the cycling track on the side is, they have to drive on the street just to block everyone, even though there's like
It's,
a
I
perfect.
also do that. Do you know why? It's much safer.
Than on the cycling track.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
There's
they
always people shooting
you
out
off.
of the side, and if you drive with 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, they're not gonna see you. It's so much safer to ride on the road.
I'm pretty sure more cyclists get killed on the
No,
road
not
than on
here.
freaking cycling ways.
I mean,
Those
I
cycling
almost got hit
ways are so dangerous.
twice on a cycling way, and now I'm always
you're
driving
in
on the
those
street. It's so much
I see
safer.
plenty of
Where I'm
people that
driving all
have
the time
nothing
is
to
a
do on the
high-traffic
street.
road.
Hmm?
And there, you don't want to be on the street.
Yeah.
Because
It's
super
so much
hard to
safer on the
overtake.
street.
The
No, not if
cycling
cars are
cast
passing by
people
70 to
ignore you
100
if you're
kilometers
there.
per hour.
Like
No.
they
I mean, I invite
Or
you to my
you
place.
and-
The B8 is here close by, which is a completely unlimited street where they race with like, I don't know, 150 to 200 kilometers per hour. Right next to it is a perfectly well-made, fresh cycling way.
No, maybe that's
And I
something
regularly
else,
drive
but I
there
mean in the
and see the
city.
people.
I mean in the city.
Ah, yeah, okay, in the
In
city
the
it's
city,
fine,
it's
But I'm
usually
talking
have
about
your-
bigger streets where you have an actually really well-made cycling way right next to it, which we have a lot of in Germany. And then if you're like, why is this guy driving on the street? He's just blocking all the cars. He's bringing himself in danger. And that's pretty much all of it. It's just about, I have to be on the street because I have a racing bike. It's like, what the crap, yeah.
Yeah. Also.
And I
there's a-
regularly see them on this road, and they had like, in the last 3 years, they had like 57 dead people on this road, and I think like 47 of which were actually cyclers. It's like, no. I'm
Yeah,
not
but that's
gonna
maybe
drive this
something
road,
else.
man.
If there's a perfectly fine.
I can totally understand it if it's like super edgy and an old street. You have a racing bike, it has zero suspension and everything. Of course, you want to be driving on a flat ground. You're not gonna go in the next field and drive your racing bike there. But if there is a proper cycling way available, where you are sure you can drive fast, they're big.
Yeah,
They're
usually also not. You try to avoid Bundesstraßen.
Yeah, this is something where I just think like this guy has nothing to do here.
I mean, those little Landstraßen, this is fine, but yeah.
Yeah, but even there, like at least here they're fairly highly commuted, so.
And I mean, technically,
So
use a
what?
car
Then you slow
every
down with your car and
once in
pay
eternity,
attention. I mean, the road is not just made for the car drivers. I mean, it's for everybody.
yeah, the issue is if something happens, you are
unless
the
they
guy
have the
that dies.
cyclist path.
Yeah, okay.
You're actually forced to drive on the cyclist.
Yeah, okay, I
path, not
mean-
on the street.
Between cities,
Also-
okay, but in the city, I really avoid
Yeah, in
those
the
sidewalks.
city I drive the street too. Yeah, I don't, not on sidewalks, I'm talking about
That's you-
proper
that's
cycling
you.
paths.
Yeah, it's even in the city because it's so dangerous. Somebody
Yeah,
else also
but I
said he
mean-
got hit by.
No, but I mean, that's typically just a side strip or so. It's like.
Also,
like
the
the
other
side
thing
of
is
the
on the street,
Yeah.
it's like you can be sure about one thing: if something happens, you're gonna lose on the bike, not the guy in the car. You know, it's like it's enough if a car rams you with 30 kilometers per hour and you're dead. If you're unlucky, or even less, 20 is enough. And a guy in the car, not much will happen. But you're gonna fly a few 15, 20 meters
Around
through the air.
here, the guy in the car around here, you'd be lucky if the guy in the car even stops to check and see if you're okay, let alone if you're still alive. It's kind of bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't use my bike in the United States. This is sure. Can't drive at all.
Like there are plenty of people who do, and it can be quite safe. But like people around here, when it comes to like respecting cyclists and you know
The thing is, you
being
can't rely
responsible
on
for their
anything.
actions, yeah, they just
I mean,
disappear.
usually I drive a lot of bike too on the streets. You cannot rely on a green light. You cannot rely on having priority on the street or so. You get ripped off, you get cut off. You have to be super careful because, like I always said, you know, what's Vorfahrt in English?
Priority.
Yeah. So even if you have priority and you just
No, that's
drive
something else.
carelessly,
Right of way.
Right of way.
if a car takes that away from you, you're gonna die in that process, not the guy in the car. So you actually have to be super careful with that stuff. You can't
Yep.
rely on it.
Yeah, but it was the
You're
same.
gonna get your rights.
It's the same
Same as
when
pedestrian.
It's always the same when I rode my motorbike. You have to think for the others as well.
Yeah.
Always when I saw there's somebody on the right wants to cross the street or whatever, then I slowed down. I mean, you can't rely on anybody. Even if I had right of way.
You always have to make sure for yourself. That's why I don't like it. Same goes for me for like people driving on the pedestrian side, where there is a pedestrian only walkway. It's like you have nothing to do there with your bike unless you're under 9 years old. And then I see like grown-up humans driving on the pedestrian walkway, where I just think like, get the fuck on the street. Like, it's getting worse and worse anyway. All the people you see there are all like e-bikers. And they're usually like 30 years old, could be more healthy and drive bus with the e-bike. I think like you could need it, man.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
always
they
the best.
need the extra room for
driving
beer.
bus with your e-bike is like, what are you doing in here, man? Get the crap out.
I mean, who needs an e-bike? I always overtake them.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
It's because they're lazy.
no, you know
Well,
how
also
the
it could be
e-bikes
an
all popped up.
accessibility
The
thing,
e-bikes
too.
popped up because of elderly people, and for them it is really good to get active again, get a little bit of movement into their body. You know, if you're like 60, 70 or so, e-bikes are really good. But it's turning into like, just wait another 10 years and you will see the first kids with e-bikes. Where I just feel like, why? And then also you see more and more people that drive ridiculously fast. I'm pretty sure they have like tuned e-bikes and stuff to the point where I think like, and this guy...
You get faster ones, but then you need a license plate.
Yeah, you should have a license plate. I mean, if you drive up the hill with 30 kilometers per hour, this is for me at the point where you should have a license plate.
No, it's capped at 25.
Yeah, but you can uncap them. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah, but
I know a guy that has a KTM e-bike, which he uncapped, and it drives like 60 kilometers per hour. And the only thing I told him is you realize that your brakes are not made for that, right? If you ever come into a situation with 60 kilometers per hour where you have to brake quick, you're gonna die in that case. Because your brakes are totally not made for that.
They do make brakes that could keep up for it, but half those people don't think to upgrade their brakes. They're just like, yay, I can go fast now. They don't think about, yay, I can stop.
Hello.
Hey, no.
Hey.
Who's streaming?
I do.
Alright. What's on the menu?
Tunnel boring. Connect the iron farm to spawn. So we can turn it on and off from spawn.
Alright. What, you need to run the iron farm again?
New one.
Yeah.
Oh, you made a new one.
We actually built a test farm, a 16 village iron farm.
Yeah.
Now we tried a new chunk loading. If everything works, then we build it the TDL's huge one.
Nice. The other 16, you know, back then when Ground and so on with Panda were working on iron farms, right? Ground, do you remember he once, I think it was Ground or Redstone Spire, they did a April 1st where they hinted they would have had, you know, found something when it comes to villagers, but they never showed it.
No, they did show it. It's the whole 6-second reset thingy with the world border.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's not really the world border, but it's just an integer overflow.
Yeah, it's close to the world border. You have to be at like 29 million plus or something. Oh.
Yeah,
That's pretty much the world border. But...
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a technical reason why you have to be at the world border, because the world border is designed to be at the limit of an integer.
Yeah, and then you overflow it and it goes negative.
So if you're close to it and you add a second door, you overflow. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, then
I still think we should
That's
actually
the
do
reason
that
why
and
world
just
border
make a...
exists. So
I
still
always
think we
thought
should-
the best YouTube tutorial you could make for Iron Golem farm would be one in between the very Iron Golem cell basic thing and the super farms that have like 500 villages stacked.
It's like Ethos, pretty much.
Yeah, and then I
Doesn't
always
get
said
simpler.
that. And then, yeah, I think it got misunderstood back then when I said it, because it got laughed at. I said, man, you should make Iron Golem farms smaller and, you know, scale them down. And you can't. This is just how big they have to be. And I was
It's
not talking
kind of,
about-
also, Ethos farm is also 200 blocks wide. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I was not talking about
Oh, you could stack it
Physical.
vertically.
physical size. I was talking about you don't need to stack like 50 villages. You know what I mean? For a single player, like 4 is enough. You know,
I mean, there is a reason why they sort of have to be larger, or like about 32 by now even. That's if you want to keep them permanently loaded and only use the poppies to do the chunk loading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they have to have sufficiently high rates to keep up the clock.
yeah.
Mm.
Otherwise, I
That
mean,
was
you have to
increased
throw a
something.
few stacks of cobble in, you know, to keep it
rail
running.
duper.
Yeah,
Duper.
rail duper, carpet duper, cobble
carpet.
gen, or
Yeah.
even just throw in some iron.
Eggs.
like
Cycle
recycling system.
items.
Recycle
Eggs.
poppies or something, yeah.
Chicken cooker, eggs.
Yeah, or that.
There's
I mean,
plenty
there's
of them.
plenty of ways.
Yeah.
It just requires a tad more effort.
Kelp farm!
Or, you
Kelp
know,
farm!
You could always just put a couple of items in that cycle back and forth.
Yeah, this...
Doesn't
Tricky
work
or
for us.
Something in addition, and I mean, for most iron farms, it was just easier to go to 32 villages, or even more, because they were already made with sort of, you know, they had some symmetry, so you just copied it, and you didn't have to bother.
Yeah, I mean,
On the other hand, it's like if you plan to build a 32 village iron farm, it's not 50% more work to make it 64. It's like actually less. So you can easily go to like 64.
that's why I'm
and
saying,
plenty
You
of
know,
iron.
if somebody would figure something out that doesn't require, let's say, huge scale, crazy reset, or something that is a 4 stack villager farm, that would be the GG.
People did that with like 5, but it's kind of worthless. It's the same size, the same requirement,
Exactly.
like making the 16 village one. You
Yeah,
still
that's
need
what
24 villagers, you still need the doors, you still need the whole reset system, so might as well go bigger.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That
Go
would
in
be
with the
glorious if somebody finds a way to stack a little bit without, you know, making this giant thing. Because as soon as you do, you can already say, okay, let's throw in 50 villages. It doesn't matter now, right?
Yeah, but it's the way you have to do it. There's
I know.
no other way of doing it. You need to space for the doors. You need to register the stuff all in, and it takes space. It's not much to place. I mean, Ita's 16 village iron farm is 200 blocks long, but most of it is like a 1-block bridge where you have a redstone line on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There's not really a smaller way to do it because of the way the villagers stacking happens.
Exactly. That I think, I know that of course, and I said that would be the idea if somebody finds another way to do it. Maybe that is not, limited to some degree, that you cannot make it like 50 villages, but if you somehow stack 4 villages in a smaller space, that would be by far the best.
It's not really doable.
Yeah.
The only way.
I mean, it's already so small if you compare it to like.
Sure.
Compare Ita's 16 village iron farm to like the single cell you have originally shown 4 of them. You're actually doing more work building those 4 single village iron farms than just building the 16 village version of Ita. It's like less work than doing it, and you're using less villagers, less doors, less lag. It's like actually more efficient to do that.
It's a great design.
It's super simple.
Really good.
We don't want to spoil TDL's farm yet.
Yeah.
Sure, if anybody has tips for bike rental in Berlin, I don't.
No clue.
Bike rental in Berlin? In Berlin, there is
everywhere.
Bike renting stations everywhere. For example, by Deutsche Bahn, by the German train. You just go there and you can rent them for a day for like $10 or something. And you take them and then you can hand them in automatically at one of the next stations. They're everywhere. It's like in every capital in the world you have stuff like that. Berlin the same.
Indianapolis is just now getting on that trend, but there's still some places in the U.S. that are touristy areas that don't.
Capital in Europe, you can somehow get bikes. Mostly, if you want to get decent bikes, I don't know what you're talking about. If you just want to cycle about, then those bikes are good enough. They are like solid bikes, but they're not meant to make a real tour. If you want that, you just have to go to some biking shop in Erz.
It's a city bike more or less.
Yeah, it's a city bike. It's like normally it's a female version of how you call it, a woman bike or whatever. Where
the one with the bar drops down.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody can use them pretty much. And there's this. Yeah. I used it once.
Doc, we need a transgender bike now.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. What about that?
Yeah, you never know.
It's the most retarded discussion ever.
It is gender-neutral bikes. Don't worry, guys.
It's like, we need transgender toilets. Yeah, man, and the toilets for like cats and dogs and rats. I'm fine with unisex toilets. I'm fine with toilets for men and women. But if you're at the point that you can't decide what you want to be, you just fucked up, man. Decide for one and it's fine.
Yeah, you just have
no one gives a crap, man.
What was the
you're
most
not gonna get special
feeling?
toilets for that, man.
You know what the most liberating feeling was? In Sweden, the shared bathrooms.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
No, it is not, because, every bathroom stall is a closed-off little thing. It is just, I didn't see any problems with that. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
actually, they do. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. No, but seriously, that was really a non-issue in Sweden, because everybody uses the same bathroom. And it's mostly, as a method said, it's even cheaper, because in Germany, you always have super separated bathrooms, and both are equally big, and just a waste of space and money.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with toilets for men and women, but that whole transgender discussion, a third set of toilets for people that can't decide if they want to be a man or a woman, I think that's where we have to stop, man.
We already have a third set for handicapped people.
Yeah, okay, that's fine as well. Of course, handicapped people need a toilet where they could go
no
to.
one got your shit done.
But there's no need for a fourth toilet.
No.
Yeah, well, they should just use whatever toilet they feel comfortable with. Honestly, who gives a crap, right?
Yeah.
I do. Like, for example, at the Wacken, At the men's toilet, there was a super long queue where I was in this backstage area, and that is normally, you would think, it's the other way around. But at the Wacken, of course, there's more guys. So I went to the, I had to go pee, man, and I just went into the women's toilet. Nobody gives a crap about it. Like, literally. None of the women in there were like, oh my god, a guy's coming in. I was like, dude, I need to go. And they were like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you look desperate.
They just saw your beautiful female side, dog, and they can't say anything.
Yeah. It's a lot about communication as well, right? I mean, you know, if you just storm in there, you might offend some women that are in their private space in the toilet there, but if you say, dude, this is an
I have a
emergency.
relevant funny story, by the way.
Yeah.
So being an artist or a performer, I've got some clothing that have really big ankles on them, and when you're standing there,
when you do the fire thing, yeah.
And it can look kind of like a dress. Now, I normally have hair that goes down past my shoulders, but normally I also have a beard, and at the time this story happened, it was about 6 inches long.
Yeah.
So we're going for my friends to drop him off at work. He worked at Walmart. And so we get there, and we all have to use the restroom. So we go into the restroom and use the restroom. I'm the last one out, and when I get out, my 2 friends are standing next to an employee, and there's another random woman there.
Yeah.
And my friends are almost cracking up. And my friends look at me with a straight face and go, "Did you see a woman in there? Any other women or anything?" And I'm like, "No, I was the last one out."
Yeah.
And it come to find out that the lady had only saw me from behind going into the restroom with 2 guys.
Alright.
And had reported us to the store. The moment she saw me, saw that I had long hair and was wearing fancy pants, she ghosted. So at the point where I'm just like, yeah, no, there's nobody else in there, the store employee looked to talk to her, and she was gone.
Wow. That is crazy.
I once was on a party and you weren't allowed to smoke in there, so me, a friend, and a girlfriend went onto the girls' toilet to smoke cigarettes in the toilet. And we smoked a cigarette there. It came out, and when we came out, there was like 20 people standing in a row in front of us, waiting for us to unblock the toilet, and then you just saw like two guys and a girl come out of the toilet. It was this awkward
smoking
moment.
one, you know.
Yeah.
Smoking one.
Everyone looking weird. It's like, just say nothing and keep
The
on
cigarette after.
Yeah.
See, at that point, you could have left with the cigarette going, and they would have been like, well, we're not going to stop them.
No, man. I'm anyway super confused by this whole gender equality discussion. The way I grew up and the way I live, I've never seen any, you know, inequality between men and women. That's just not on my... I don't even go there, right? But I can tell you, I saw something again that just tells me that a lot of women have to deal with a lot of crazy shit. That's my story from the Wacken, man. So there were 2 girls at the Razor booth. So if I say girls, a lot of people maybe automatically assume, oh, there were some booth bitches they had there also. Right?
Booth bitches.
And that's what they call the hot girls they, you know, they have on the.
That's what they call the model.
On the models, the models there, you know.
The eye candy that brings people into
but
the booth.
obviously they were not. The other one was actually the boss of the Razer marketing thing in Germany, right? But she's really good looking on top of that. And her friend, she's also a marketing, blah, 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 higher up. So, first of all, the guys there were treating them as if they were the booth bitches. They're really objectifying them and blah, blah, blah. Whereas, you know, when they went to the guys that were hanging out, they had technical questions about the equipment and stuff. And for the girls, it was already weird. That is the first thing.
Well, but you don't ask technical stuff to a marketing guy.
Yeah, no, not technical stuff, but you know, when it's a new
depends on the technical stuff.
Keyboard coming out, this and that, you know, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So, no matter what, the point was, eventually it was 8 and they closed down the booth and said, hey, Arch Enemy or so is playing, you wanna go come with me and party with us? And they're sure. So I went with them, we drank a little bit, all was good, and they were dancing together and having a great time with some middle-aged band, I don't know. So I chilled there, and then one older guy walks up. He was in his late 50s, I would assume. He looked pretty normal, didn't look like a metal guy. Maybe he was a metaler when he was young, you know, and then came back now. But he also had the wristband that showed that he was from the VIP camping ground where you know, get your prepaid tents and everything. It's not really.
And they have showers and sometimes air conditioning.
It's for the more rich guys that want to come and still don't want to, you know, have a lack of good living or whatever.
They want to say they were camping.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is, so the one boss of Razor Dash, she has very, very long hair, long red hair. So she was standing in front of him and waving her head and headbanging and so on. And you could see every time when she flung her hair, the hair touched the arms and stuff of the other guy who was standing with crossed arms kind of behind her. And whenever she did that and touched him, you could see he totally got off on it. Was like, ooh. And he went closer and closer to her. Yo, it was so creepy, right? And I was looking at him and thought, okay, if he touches her, I'm gonna punch him. So I look, and next thing I see, she bends forward a bit, right, and headbangs, and he goes with his hand towards her butt and pretends as he was kind of, you know, fingering her from behind while she was bending forward. For real, like, and it was really close, almost touching her like an inch away. And then she realized, turned around, and he pretended as if he, I don't know, was doing something else, and quickly disappeared in the crowd. You know? And when I saw that, I was really like, 1 inch closer and he would have touched her, I would have knocked the fucker out, because this is nuts. And later I told them, you know, but way later, a day later, I didn't want to ruin their party, you know, and tell them some creeps was going up to them. And then they said, oh, well, actually it's not that big of a problem, it happens all the time. It's just normal. And there I was like, yeah, okay, there you just.
What world do we live in where that can be accepted as normal?
Yeah, we live still in a weird world where women even say, oh, well, it's not that bad, you know, that's what we always have to deal with. You're like, really? So whenever you dance, somebody may walk up, you know, and be touchy, and that is normal. And then you just think, man, this sucks. So yeah. That was my thing there. Since that, I once again am super convinced if women fight for their rights and people say, hey, what, it's not that bad. Nah. It's still bad. It's stupid.
Just because you can't see it or won't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah. I don't know how it is with you, Mango, or so, but in my friends, you know, around my friends or friend circle or people I know, you don't see stuff like that. It's not.
No.
It's common, right? But it happens. Yeah.
I've seen shit like that, and it never has made me happy once.
I can say for sure, none of my friends ever did something like that when I was around. Never. Nobody of
If I ever caught one of my friends doing that, they wouldn't be my friend anymore.
Yeah.
We used to have a brewery with restaurant for like 12 years, and like if you touched a woman or one of our waiters inappropriate, permaban. Immediately permaban. And if you're unlucky, getting a beat down outside. Like, so that's how it rolls. It's like one overstep, man.
Yeah.
And it's game over.
Yeah. It's funny sometimes, you know, it's like you also see it in
Well, they're already assaulted. They're afraid that they'll be physically assaulted if they speak up or try to stand up. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You know, one of my favorite little memes.
The other hand, this exists for men as well. So sexual harassment works the other way around too, which I feel like gets more and more ignored. A lot of the so-called feminists are completely discriminating men, which I think this is not how feminism works. You know, equality works in both directions.
Yeah.
Wait, one second.
Sure, but with that discussion,
Wait.
One second.
Holy fuck. Newton Square is going crazy here?
Yeah, Newton Square, what's up?
Is this gift what?
Yeah.
Yep. 5 gifts at once. Wow.
It's to Milky Way, A, and so on, huh? Okay. Thanks a lot, Newton.
A783RTN3. Oh,
Newton Square. No, you know, methods. What it is with feminists sometimes being overly aggressive is, of course, the situation is super imbalanced towards men at the moment, so they have to push back super hard. But in the end, like they say, they just want to reach equality. Of course, sometimes they over-push it. I mean, there was a phase, let's say, in the early 90s, where as a man, it was really tricky. You didn't know what to be anymore. You know, if you
I mean, this works in other things as well. I mean, I don't have to pull this on the man-female situation.
Yeah.
There's like, wait, what was that? Just had a good example on it, crap. And I forgot it.
Yeah, in the end,
I love the Mango song.
There's a bunch of people that completely overdo it, you know. And for example, the whole the fat shaming people. And then they shame on thin people. It's like, dude, you don't want to be fat shamed, but you shame someone who's super thin. So what's actually?
Oh, you mean like the song "All About That Bass"?
Yeah, for example, there was this huge discussion in America where they closed this clothing line that was named like "One Size Fits Most," and they only sold clothes for thin people.
Well, there was
And they
worse
actually
than that.
got closed.
Abercrombie's
They
like
had to
that.
close down because of that, and got like onto court and everything. On the other hand, there's plenty of stores that only sell clothes for fat people.
well,
It all depends on how they're marketing it more than anything
the
else.
whole discussion about fat shaming is a tricky one. Because if somebody says, you know, you should lose some weight because it's unhealthy for you, that's hard to argue against that. Because
But they actually do argue against that. There's groups in there that do argue against it and say like, no, it is not unhealthy. You are living healthy. When they told you they're like actually really fat people that have like seriously health conditions come from that. And that's where I think this goes wrong, because you shouldn't be telling people like, yeah, you're healthy, keep on going.
Everybody can be the way they want, right?
Of course.
But if
Also have to deal with the consequences. So.
Yeah, if somebody has some weight issues and then says, well, I don't care because I'm feeling very happy, that is all good, but later then, I don't want to hear them complain. You know, if
my life is so hard, oh my god, everything is so exhausting. Yeah, maybe if you didn't weigh like 180 kilos.
It can be super hard. You know Boogie, Boogie 2998?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did this thing. I mean, a lot of people probably know him from his Francis, sketches where he rages and plays this gamer nerd. But he did the gastric bypass surgery, like about half a year ago or so, where they removed parts of his stomach, and now he can't eat. He lost 180 pounds in half a year from the.
That's
surgery.
not healthy.
Well, it's the surgery, it's just.
Yeah, but it's
they have a lot
also
of loose
extremely
skin.
dangerous.
That sucks as well.
He showed it. She actually showed it in a video, I think yesterday or this week. He showed how he looks right now, and it's at his prime. I think he weighed 390 pounds.
The issue is you're losing so much weight so quick, your body cannot adjust to that at all.
Yeah, well,
But I don't
it's
think
already
your skin would recover if you lose it not that fast.
It would recover more than
Maybe.
it does now. Like
But
it
not
takes
that
time.
much.
Not that much, of course,
Boogie,
but
Boogie is also close to his 40s, I think, and he's been that fat all his life, as far as I remember from his telling his story and so on. So the skin he showed, it's not just flappy skin hanging over. It's really thick, strong skin that you grew for like 30 years. That the only way to remove that is
operation or surgery. Yeah.
And that skin's gonna be there regardless of how fast he had lost it.
Yeah.
More than likely.
But
If you're
that whole
we're
that
talking
whole like
400
equality
pounds.
thingy is like I treat anyone like I would want to treat it myself, and I usually the only one I don't like respect are idiots. It doesn't matter how you look, what you like, if you're transgender or whatever, man. It's like I really don't care if you're an asshole. You're an asshole. Like,
Well, about these topics, people are really, for example, I saw a lot of comments on the latest Minecraft videos where people ask if I also watch other people outside Hermitcraft, right? And there's one guy outside the Minecraft stuff I really, really like to watch for entertainment. His name is Cash Nasty Gaming, and he is a black dude, and he makes basketball videos. So I said the black dude thing. I had it in my tweet. I said, yeah, I watch Cash Nasty. He's a black dude, plays NBA 2K and is super funny, makes awesome skits with his girlfriend. So then some people got on. Cash Nasty even retweeted that, which super much surprised me. I was actually fanboying a little bit there.
Oh my god, you called a black guy black?
Why did you have to add black to it? That he's a black dude. And that's like, seriously? All the funny skits and the humor of Cash Nasty are based on playing with black stereotypes, right? He does that a lot. He exaggerates the black gangster persona and also plays a lot with white stereotypes, with southern stereotypes because he's from the south of America, you know, Louisiana and stuff. And obviously in the southern states, there was still a lot of racism in the United States. So he also has a political, you know, opinion behind that. But people immediately got on it. Why did you have to call him black? It's like, because in his case, it's relevant because his comedy is based on that, on making jokes about racial tensions and this shit. So I don't know why people, oh my god, why do you have to point out he's black?
They just want to see a problem where there isn't on. That's like people telling you in your Minecraft builds that something looks like a swastika. Yeah, man, maybe you just want to see one. Like every second thing we do, we get like one comment at least like, this looks like a swastika, and it's like nowhere even remotely close. It's like
Action said, I don't like labels like that, but that is literally outrage culture. You know, people literally. Okay, there must be something offensive what he was trying to say there. Oh yeah, let's try to. He's a racist or whatever. He pointed out he's black. For real, that's so dumb. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you know. I don't think saying somebody has black skin is not political correct.
Yeah, well, that's what you told him, like strongly pigmented or what?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We had this discussion in our Patreon as well about the N-word, right?
Yeah.
If it's okay to say or not. And it also, like in my basketball team, which had at least half of the team black guys, they used the N-word frequently.
You said black again. I think it's the worst. Yeah, that is so bad.
Towards us, and you know, I as a white guy, for example, there were some situations, I don't know, I dunked on a guy, you know, and then I was like, you know, N-word, what? You know, because it was basketball and nobody was offended by that. You know, it's part of the slang. But we also had this discussion then in the team that, you know, I said, dude, I feel kind of weird calling you that, right? And they were like, dude, you know, as long as you don't use it as a casual thing, it's all fine.
But I think it's really sad for the black community that they started calling each other, let's just say it, nigger. Which I think is like, that's a slur word of the worst type, which got into your slang.
No, that's the reason it is used. It is exactly for that. To, you know, they call us that, so, you know, let's embrace it.
When they use
I think that's not a good thing to do. You know, we don't call each other schmucks, which was a Jewish slur word for non-Jews, Germans. We don't call each other schmucks because of that. It's like, you're actually pulling all of this stuff, the history into the ground. For me, this is something you shouldn't call each other. You should like remember this thingy. Not long ago, it was totally legit that a white guy told you, you freaking nigger, get out of the bus. Which that ain't funny. Like that ain't something you should call each other.
Yeah, I don't know. The point is you shouldn't use it as a casual term. And anything that is derogatory, you know, among friends, you can do anything. But in public, and if it's, you know, if somebody could be offended, you just avoid it. What is the issue? So I don't get it.
I don't use it at all. I mean, I'm white, I can't. But then it's like...
No, it's weird. You know, there was this controversy right when PewDiePie, when he all of a sudden bursted out with this rant about he killed somebody in PUBG, and then he went on this N-word rant. I really think, where did that come from? That was not related to anything. You know, it's just like, huh? Why? So in that respect, I don't think it makes sense. But yeah, in my basketball team, as I said,
on the other hand, would have everyone freaked out if PewDiePie did this while he was actually a black dude? Would that been the same reaction? No, because it's a huge difference, like, which I think is like you guys call each other that way. You actually can't complain if a white guy calls you that.
You can, of course. No, that's totally wrong. You can. The way they use it is it's a form of protest, and it's controversial, but it's not that it's a word that was made up for black people to, you know, pride. It's not a pride word. It's a very negative word, and they use it in a way to mock it. You know, so
they use it to take the power away from the
Yes,
word, from the
exactly.
racists using it.
Exactly. So you want to call us that? Okay, that's what we are then. You know, it's my brother. It's more showing you're a brotherhood, and you don't let yourself getting bullied by some.
Even
Yeah,
when they're
I
using
just
it
feel
in a
way
negative
different about that.
connotation.
I just feel way
Exactly.
different about that. Like,
Yeah, but with that opinion, I wouldn't.
It's a socio-political reason why it's being used.
That
It
opinion
can
maybe
be,
can-
it can be your opinion that it shouldn't be used that way,
Yeah.
but the reason why it's being used and why it started being used was a socio-political one.
Yeah. And if you want to discuss this method, we should probably do in private.
yeah,
Because no,
it's a bad subject.
no, I think you know it can be totally misunderstood on Twitter
Yeah,
or Twitch or whatever,
definitely.
and all of a sudden you get in trouble and you don't.
No. We are all non-racist here.
Yeah, that is obvious.
Definitely. I mean,
That is obvious. But it's a super hot topic, man. You know,
Yeah.
we had discussions about that on my Patreon too. Of course, we have people from all walks of life and colors and whatnot there. And there's super active discussions because, you know, I'm political, so stuff like that comes up and it's always super interesting. I learned
yeah, but
a lot.
to just reply once more to Newton, it's like, it doesn't piss me off if they call each other this way. I just think it's kind of sad, you know. For me, it's really. It might be
You're
because
saying
I'm German.
that the protest should be making the word
No,
die
for me
completely.
it might be different because I'm German, and here it was really used to slur at people. Here
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really considered a bad slur word. If you would
Yeah.
say this to someone here, you would get into big trouble
Oh, yeah.
immediately. This is not
Oh,
like
yeah.
a joke or anything.
No.
We are super sensible towards like racism because of our past.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's probably the issue why I don't like it, because I just, in my head, this is a super bad slur.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And not like, haha, hey, N-word guy. Like,
yeah.
you know,
wouldn't- yeah, it's
this
really
is
strong.
like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
for me, it's a really strong insult.
Yeah, probably the worst thing actually you could say to somebody
Yeah.
of color. I couldn't think
Yeah.
of a worse slur in German
Yeah,
than that.
exactly. And that's why I think I don't like it that they call each other this, because I
Yes.
think it's
Okay,
like,
that's understandable from
makes
your
it into
cultural
a joke,
standpoint.
kind of.
But you know, from an American standpoint, with the history and all, for them it makes sense. But for a German, especially, whenever you hear any racist slurs, you cringe. You know, it's like, ugh, you feel really uncomfortable about. It.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Like whatever it is,
Yeah.
whenever there is racism involved, you normally as a German, and if you go through the German school system and society, when racism happens,
you don't
trigger.
You don't even
Instantly
have to
trigger.
say something directly racist. You just have to let something racist shine through in between the lines, and I will
Yeah.
immediately notice that, and I will call you out for it straight up.
Yeah,
Like, if you make some racist remarks, you don't have to actually use a racist word or something.
yeah.
But if I'm coming to the opinion like you are actually intolerant towards whatever it may be, color of your skin, religion, or whatever, is a no-no for me.
Yeah.
Like, big no-no.
Yeah.
Somebody just suggested something really good.
Hmm?
We could actually also have a TNT tube at the back of the whole thing in order to flatten out the tunnel.
Yeah,
Ah,
you're back.
yeah, makes
There's always
sense,
this
yeah.
thing, no matter what we tried, you could make a flat floor, but then you don't take out enough blocks at the top. So we always had to
Yeah.
explode it here and always have the blocks here remaining, but if you have something in the back, maybe they could make a flat floor here. Should maybe try
A
that.
small one, yeah, that maybe drops one TNT or so there in the middle. This should be enough. It's just this little ridge that remains.
It just has to
on the
explode in
floor.
just the right spots. Someone probably also
Yeah.
need to shoot it up, but it should be doable.
Yeah. Cool, man. Oh, yeah, by the way, tomorrow I would really like to experiment with phantom catching a little bit more. If you guys are down to play around a bit.
Yeah, we
I did
tried
some
it, but
tests.
what I have in mind? In the overworld
Well-
or in the nether?
Yeah, what I wanted to achieve is that after you caught them, well, the only reasonable thing you could do with him is display them, right? What else you want to do with them? So I did some testing. They need at least a 5x5x5 to be able to kind of fly around properly. You know, then they go into their dive animation. through glass if they see a player, so it looks a bit interesting.
And do they despawn regardless of the distance, or is there also...
I haven't done, you know...
If they
that's
despawn like the Endermite right next to you, then...
Yeah, exactly. Things like that I wanted to find out, because when I caught them there was a lot of insecurities. Pretty much I had one caught and named, and then I had to live test while I was on the Hermitcraft server standing next to it, hoping it won't despawn in methods at the same time was testing on a creative server if it, you know, if you could even make him permanent. So maybe we can work something out that is a bit automatic, you know. We just need some sort of bigger portal, then you attract them, let them fly in there into a small room, and maybe we can build something with pistons or so that pushes them into a corner and
There's gonna be lava on the right.
Should I stop?
And, you know, something like that. It's not super useful, as I said. I don't think we can do anything with them really. But look at them, but... Well.
I mean, there is some rumors that you can use the membrane at some point to craft elytras.
Then it could become interesting to be able to catch them easy. Also something I saw, and I think it could be true, so it seems, because one night I had to wait 6 nights until a phantom showed up, and I was really confused about why that happened. So shortly before that, I tried to lightning strike Javin at spawn, but the thunderstorm had just stopped. So I ran through, throw my trident at him, and at this moment, and then run away. And at this moment, the phantom spawned him, and one chased me in the end into the nether. And then I ran over to my base, and I think the phantom stayed loaded in the nether then. And then I couldn't get any phantoms to spawn on me anymore. So it seemed that as one phantom that was alive in the world still that was targeting me, no new ones spawned. And then I went back to the nether, you know, and loaded the area and stayed there for a while because I assumed that might have happened, and then boom, in the next night I got some.
It would be amazing to just turn off the annoying phantom spawning.
Yes, exactly. So that was like, is this maybe a phantom switch, quote unquote? If you don't name tag them and load them in a, you know, then they didn't despawn and stay
But
there.
I had never heard that it
new
would be
ones.
dependent on other phantoms. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw 10 or 12 phantoms at some point, we just AFK'd long enough.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm not sure if there was something wrong on the Hermitcraft server with our sleep plugin thing we have going on. You know, that is all kinds of stuff I would like to try. But if that is the case, that would be the easiest phantom switch ever.
Yeah.
That would be glorious. Yeah, just store him somewhere in the nether in some death chunks nobody goes to.
That was a really long stretch without having to stop the tunnel
nice.
for.
How many blocks do you have to go?
2,400 more.
It originally was 11,000 originally. Technically 13.
It's decently fast now, it's around 1,500 blocks per hour. Better than digging.
So much better than digging.
Obviously, somebody is asking why we need a tunnel for the redstone dust line. Why don't we do it above ground? But then you have oceans, mountains in the way, and it just looks awful to have your lines going at the top. That's why we always make those tunnels for our redstone underground.
Plus, it gives you a wonderful excuse to make an amazing slimestone contraption like this.
Yeah, Methods did some tests with phantoms lately. We found out a very weird behavior of them, how they track. Even when they're in the nether, they still try to track player they targeted and so on. It's a bit weird. There's a lot of, needs to be a lot of tests with their behavior. They are still, interesting in a sense, I guess. You never know, maybe you can use it for something. You could make a nice trap with phantoms with that, pretty much, if you do it right. Send someone to the end and then get them attacked by 1,000,000 phantoms. Yeah. I want to try it on Bedrock Edition. Yeah, we won't be that lucky.
No. You could actually make something similar with the moving dispensers, I guess. Yeah, why not? I mean, if you make a bedrock machine, it should definitely work, huh?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Bedrock doesn't have quasi-connectivity, no. But making a one-directional flying machine is just as easy in Bedrock. So I'm quite sure you can make something similar in Bedrock Edition.
This is a TNT duper machine. It doesn't. In Java, you cannot move dispensers also yet. So you have to use TNT dupers for something like that. There's no other way to do it.
I mean, there is another way. You can maybe have a cartridge and place a lot of TNT, but this would be so inefficient.
Yeah, but theoretically you could do it with TNT minecarts, you know? Like have some moving rail contraption that shoots TNT minecarts forward. And
But how to store them? I mean, they're quite fragile.
You would have to manually, you know, put one in the cartridge, pretty much let it go or something. Yeah. I don't know how well they behave with being dispensed and all this yet. I just know when they touch each other, they go boom. Yeah.
Yeah, I can probably make even a contraption where you sit in a minecart like this, place your TNT, gets moved around, and then maybe there's something. Maybe I should actually try that. I guess a lot of people would enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, like maybe something. Yeah, you automatically place a. Yeah, but yeah, you have to go back and forth probably.
Yeah, it would definitely be quite complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's some genius way to do it that is still pretty good. Just think about it for a while.
I'm so busy now with all the 1.13 stuff. I actually made a video every day now for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Never done that before.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also had like 2 weeks of crazy Minecraft playing now. At least the last 2-3 weeks. Now today I was like, okay, today I'm gonna stay in bed, relax a bit until my girlfriend had to work sadly today. So yeah, I didn't. Today was just like a break for one day. I think that's okay.
Have you revealed yet what's going on the server with the fish spawning?
No, like in the last episode, but nobody really caught up on it yet. I didn't see many comments. I showed a short sequence. I don't see anything. I walk up to the machine. You just see me flip the switch, and you cannot really see what it is. And then I walk off. Okay. But I think it will, because in today's Zizuma Voids episode today, the opening was pretty much him talking about the fish are gone for at least 5 minutes.
Okay.
So
do they know?
I'm thinking it might. Zizuma knows.
Okay.
He knows, but most of the hermits don't actually.
Somebody came here and kind of said who's behind your pufferfish incidents. By the way, so apparently they've released it in a video.
Yeah, Zizuma was the pufferfish.
Yeah.
If I would have been, I wanted to do this too with the pufferfish thing, right? But I would have kept it secret for the whole season, man. I would have never revealed it was me. And I was hoping, when I had a pufferfish in a bucket, and I want to run over to iJavin and put it in his base, and then I got hit. It's like, god dang it. somebody really already had this idea, and then I found out it's this excessive thing. It's all over the place. And I said, oh man, this is amazing. Somebody is doing it big scale. And then already after 2 days, Suzuma revealed it was him. So I was really disappointed. I was hoping I would have kept that going for a year, man. And not tell anybody in the end. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. Will there be an episode today? No, there is no episode today. Yesterday evening at 8 we were invited to a barbecue. I had friends and I went there and we came home at 3 AM. Drank a lot of schnapps and then today I chilled. So there was no time to make an episode. Yeah, I like the E-prank, exactly, Milky Way. And Minecraft background. You can make a security system using pufferfish and pressure plate. You can make, with pufferfish, you can make all kinds of fun stuff. I always thought it would be hilarious, you know, to make a trap in a way, trapdoor opens and then you fall into a hole and then automatically around you like 10 pufferfish get dispensed and you get just pufferfish to death. God. They hit hard, man. Like for real. And if it's like 5 of them, you're dead, man. Was there a snapshot, by the way?
This week?
This week, right?
Yeah.
Not early this week, like on Tuesday or so. Tell dog is girl made fun of. It's pufferfish death. Yo dog, yes? This guy made fun of your pufferfish death. Oh really? Wow. What a guy. He told me. Thanks, Duncan.
I'm dying.
When did Rock say he would the others would come back from vacation?
They're all coming back over time now.
Just wondering when 13.1 will come out.
I would guess another week or two.
Maybe 2? Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5, 2.5 weeks or so.
I mean, it is stable as far as I can tell. It's so much better than what they have now. I wouldn't know why they would wait with that release.
Man, that'd take getting full blast protection and all that stuff, and you know, it's not really worth standing in the TNT damaging the armor to get whatever drops are in range of the TNT. And then you'd still have to be quick enough to get it, and likely I would break it, and then the next TNT explosion would happen, destroying the block that just dropped that I was trying to get, so...
I'll try to get him back, Darkin, but you know, with the pranking, the art of pranking is let people simmer. Then, when they almost forgot about it, then you strike. You can't strike back right away. Gotta wait for the right moment, then it's gonna be glorious. And B, what kind of physics did you do? Well, in school, right? What you do in school, your normal physics, and then later in university we had experimental physics and all kinds of other physics you would need. But it's not like you're studying physics, then you go deeper. In electronic engineering, you kind of brush by everything, but don't really go deep into physics. But you need it for semiconductors and stuff like that, of course. And classic electronic engineering is, of course, also a discipline of physics. So yeah, it's part of it. But I'm not super good at it. Like Raghu, when it comes to really difficult physical questions or so, Raghu knows everything pretty much. I don't know and want to ask. most of the things.
On some aspects.
Yeah, but whenever I had a physics question, you could answer it very satisfactorily. So yeah, that's that. As an electronical engineer, you become more of an all-rounder almost in many disciplines, not so much of a specialist in a sense. So yeah.
Yeah, it's generally the more applied you go, the less you have to go into the full theory, because someone will work it out for you.
Yeah.
But you have to combine a lot of stuff.
Mathematics is quite important, for electronical engineering or any
all the
engineering discipline. Yeah.
It's basically for all kind of sciences. It's sort of the language that we use to describe everything.
Yeah.
Like normal spoken language doesn't quite serve the purpose. So yeah. What type of physics I'm doing particle physics.
Hey Tomlino.
Hey, Tumble.
Hello.
Studied applied maths, can I recommend? Same here.
Wait, did you do applied maths? No. That's something
yeah,
else.
kinda.
So...
It was basically normal math studies and BWL on top. It's called in English.
Economics?
Economics, yeah. Combined, basically.
That should get you everywhere, I mean.
But no, the math killed me. It killed me. I mean, the economics was so trivial, I didn't even learn that stuff. Specific courses and then got good grades, but the math killed me. I spent so much time with it, but I don't know. It was brutal.
Yeah.
We had tests where we had a failure rate of 98%. I mean, it's just a joke.
That's a joke. Okay, that's a bit high. But
sounds familiar.
In math, we also had this higher mathematics 1, 2, 3. Those were some of the tough classes, and there was always 60-70% failure rate, pretty much. You can try it 3 times after that to get kicked out, pretty much. Analysis 4, 93% failure.
Yeah. Just think about it, yeah.
It depends on what analysis 4 is. I mean, it always is a bit spread out. I mean, it's different at different universities. I mean, where I'm studying or studied, there is no analysis 4.
No, we also didn't have that. We had higher mathematics 1, 2, 3. That pretty much covers everything.
Yeah, but you're doing engineering. Or did engineering.
Yeah, but that is the same.
Even for math students, there's no analysis 4.
No, but yeah, I know, but because the math students pretty much took the same classes with us for mathematics. They then later, of course, had more specifics, for example, linear algebras and stuff like that. But linear algebra, for example, you also do when you do
that's one of the most
computer
important
science.
things. Seriously.
Yeah.
Linear algebra is just like... I don't know, I kind of hate it because it's really tough when you hear it in a math lecture and you're more of a physicist, but once you get a few concepts of it, it's so pretty.
I know, but I hated it so much. I had so much
it wasn't like the only thing I passed at least. So in the
Algebra
first semester we had to pass 3 courses and I only passed linear algebra. The rest, I don't know. It was so hard.
Yeah.
Learned so much, but I mean, we started with 400 people in the first semester, and the time of the 4th semester when I also quit, it was like 25 people left.
Yeah.
Also had enough.
That's nuts, dude. I mean, for me, it was we started with about 350, and in the end, 100 graduated. Also, yeah, about that 100.
Yeah, first it stopped, it reduced even more. Quite insane.
And there was already an NC numerus clausus on it, so you couldn't, if your high school diploma was not that great, you had to wait 1 or 2 semesters anyways to get in. So they made it really hard, and now they complain, oh, we don't have enough engineers.
It's broke. I don't know if they're dead yet. Give me a second.
Oh come on, now invalid session. But I want to just end the stream anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And for us, the biggest drop was usually very shortly after the first semester began. I mean, it began usually in fall, so in October, late October.
Yeah.
And then you really noticed around Christmas time, like the queuing times in the canteen got much shorter. At least for all the scientific parts, because like in one part of the city there was all the scientific institutes, and the rest was somewhere else. So we had our own canteen there, sort of. And you really noticed around Christmas it dropped like crazy. A, because they noticed the food there is shit. But hey, if you don't have time. And so, yeah, because also many people noticed, oh wait, I actually have to do something. And it's not that easy as it was in school.
Yeah, but no matter how much I learned and that stuff, I mean, just, I don't know, you need to be special talented for that.
Yeah, you also have to be gifted for it. I mean, for sure, one guy I was there at the university with, for him it was like a walk in the park. You know, he was like, yeah, sure, obviously. He didn't even have to learn. He just looked at it once, or even heard it once at the lecture, and you know, it was like, yeah, got it, easy. It's like, what the fuck? How?
Some of it can be common sense for certain people. It's all about how they recognize those patterns and how they are able to apply those patterns. Like a lot of mathematics for me was kind of that easy because I could recognize the patterns and go, okay, well, here's where this needs to happen.
It depends what you studied. I tell you, there is a huge difference between school mathematics and university mathematics.
Oh, yeah. But I'm actually about to...
You think you got mathematics?
End the stream.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Okay, just let's quickly do that. Gonna rate Lapis Lori, also streaming at the moment Minecraft, and gonna stream again in 2 days. I'm trying to stream every second day now. Maybe we can keep that up as a schedule. Alright, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Why couldn't you log back on? What happened?
I don't know, I had some ghost items and logged back out, and then I had invalid session, and I thought I want to end the stream anyway.
Cupfin just replied. Maybe you can finally, now I can do the fish thing.
Couldn't the drill be broken now?
I'm gonna blame him for being the guy who's responsible for all the fish